And what's going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you're all enjoying your Friday. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I'm back for another edition and episode of the New York Giants and Football Friday Talk. February, what the hell is the date today? February, it's February in 2023. So, there's a lot of new football stuff coming out. Obviously, the NFL franchise tag just started this past Tuesday. There's a lot of news going around there. Players that could potentially get tagged, players that might not receive the tag, impending free agents. Remember, the franchise tag deadline started on Tuesday and it ends on the 7th of March. So that's about around a week and a half away is when teams are going to have to decide who they're going to place the franchise tag on. But a little bit of Giants news that came down as of this morning. The New York Giants, obviously, they lost their running backs coach, who was hired by the Indianapolis Colts, that being DeAndre Smith. He is now under Shane Steichen, whom they used to coach together in UNLV back all the way in 2009. And this morning they were able to hire a replacement. And that, of course, is Carolina Panthers assistant head coach, Jeff Nixon. Jeff Nixon now is officially the running backs coach for the New York Giants. And Nixon, who's 48 years old, has spent the last 3 seasons with the Carolina Panthers, and he has his team's running back coach filled the offensive coordinator role in 2021 on an interim basis after Joe Brady was fired. So he obviously has some offensive coordinator experience as well with the Carolina Panthers, and had the title of assistant head coach with the offense last season. In his role with the Panthers, Nixon coached the running backs and helped coordinate the team's run game. Nixon also had an interview this offseason with the Dallas Cowboys for the offensive coordinator position. And Nixon in the NFL also has had experience coaching with the Miami Dolphins, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the San Francisco 49ers. And in terms of his resume, Nixon started coaching with the Penn State Nittany Lions as a graduate assistant all the way back in 1997. In 1998, he was named the running backs coach. In Shippensburg, he was the running backs coach over there from 1999 to 2002. In Chattanooga, he was the running backs and tight ends and special teams coach from 2003 to 2005. In 2006, he was the running backs and wide receivers coach in 2006. With the Philadelphia Eagles in 2007 to 2010, he was an offensive special teams assistant. From 2011 to 2015, he was a running backs coach. From 2016, he was the tight ends coach. In 2017 to 2019 with Baylor, he was the co-offensive coordinator and running backs coach. From 2020, he was the running backs coach. In 2021, he was the running backs interim offensive coordinator when Joe Brady was let go of his duties. And in 2022, he was an assistant head coach under then head coach Matt Rhule and Steve Wilks. Obviously now, he's now the running backs coach of the New York Giants. That's a pretty good resume. Guy's been at coaching all the way since 1997, and a lot of experience coaching running backs. So I'm actually not that disappointed with this hire. A guy that's had experience and a good resume. Is he going to be good as DeAndre Smith? We'll have to wait and see. But either way, I don't mind that news at all. I actually don't. I think it's going to be a pretty decent hire overall for the New York Giants at the running back position. Wish him very well over there, DeAndre Smith with the Indianapolis Colts. And let's see how Jeff Nixon does now as the new running backs coach of the New York Giants. Namar, what's going on, my friend? Why are all the reporters putting negative about Daniel Jones? Namar, you should know by now. The press is going to try to put out any type of story out there because it's going to get them, clicks and everything. So you should not be surprised with that one bit that there's some negative press being put out there from a bunch of different journalists and stuff. That's what's going to bring on the clicks. That's going to bring on the attention. That's what's going to bring on the noise. So nothing like that should surprise you at all. Now some of the other news reportedly going on around the NFL. This one I found very interesting from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. He reports that NFL teams have draft grades ranging from the first round to the fourth round for quarterback Anthony Richardson. I think that actually puts together the type of spectrum that you would expect from a guy like Anthony Richardson. I think he's around a fourth to a first round grade. Talent-wise, he's probably around that range. That makes a lot of sense to me. Gregor, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? Thank you so much for coming by the live stream. That actually makes kind of sense to me, that he would be around a first to fourth round grade. Because Anthony Richardson, we know the talent that this kid has. Great measurables, good size, incredible athletic ability. Reminds you a lot of what everybody was talking about last year when Malik Willis was coming out when he played at Liberty. But at the same time, I think Anthony Richardson needs still some time to develop as a quarterback. I don't think he's ready. I think if he could use another year or so in college football to really refine his mechanics down there in Florida. But it sounds like that he's ready to come out. He's obviously ready to come out into the NFL draft this year. It's going to be a very quarterback-heavy draft coming out this year. Obviously with Bryce Young, Will Levis, and C.J. Stroud being the top three, as a lot of people are looking to try to draft in this upcoming draft this year. But Anthony Richardson is the wild card of this whole entire draft. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. He's the wild card of this entire NFL draft because not a lot of people know where this kid might go. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting might happen in terms of Anthony Richardson. And it probably is going to a lot of it's going to have to do with how he does at the NFL Combine in the beginning of March, as well as how he does in individual workouts when we get to the beginning of April. I mean, Anthony Richardson, he's got everything you want in a quarterback. He's got the size. He's got the athletic ability. He's got the scrambling ability. He's got a big, strong arm. But he's not completely refined in terms of his overall quarterback mechanics. So I think, he could use I would rather him stay another year in college. I'm not the only one that said that. But at the same time, I think he could use, a good year or so learning on the bench from an experienced vet quarterback, learning the game, trying to refine his mechanics. And then eventually in 2024, that's when you get to see Anthony Richardson and see what he can do. I think he's probably going to be around I'd probably say around a second round pick, like second, maybe third, depending on how he does in the combine. That's probably my range of where I think he's going to be in terms of his overall draft grade. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. That's probably where I expect him to go, like around the second round, maybe third. He could sneak up in the first round depending on how he does in the draft, in the combine and the individual workouts. We saw what happened with Trayvon Walker last year. He was probably projected to be a second-round pick, if anything, and then he did so incredibly well and showed out at the combine and the individual workouts that he shot all the way up to the number one pick in the NFL draft. So you never know. A lot of people and a lot of these experts, a lot of team presidents, a lot of GMs, coaches, scouting experts, they look at what these guys do in the combine as well as the individual workouts in the spring, and they go by what they see from these guys doing those workouts. They really can determine where some of these guys are going to land in terms of their NFL draft stock. So, I mean, that's really the biggest question mark when it comes to a guy like Anthony Richardson, is how is he going to do in his individual workouts going forward? It could range from a whole different bunch of situations with this guy. But either way, that's interesting news coming from Jeremy Fowler of NFL Network, NFL.com, ESPN.com, saying that he thinks that Anthony Richardson is around a first-round pick to a fourth-round pick in terms of his overall draft grade. I'm not really surprised by that. And honestly, I don't think a lot of other people are going to be surprised by that too. Maybe I would say about first round to third round. I don't know if he's going to drop as far as the fourth round, but like I said, a lot of it could determine on how he does in terms of his individual workouts for the NFL Combine and the individual workouts. Some other news that just broke this morning. ESPN.com's Jeremy Fowler also reports that the Lions have officially signed defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn to a contract extension, effective immediately. Glenn also interviewed for a head coaching position with the Cardinals and the Colts twice this past offseason, and had his head coach interviews with the Saints and the Broncos last offseason. The results have not always been pretty in Detroit over the past 2 years, writes Fowler, but Glenn has not gotten plenty of outside interest, and the Lions have defended both Glenn and offensive coordinator Ben Johnson this offseason. They kept both of them this offseason. Both of these guys were warranted for head coaching positions, and the Detroit Lions managed to find a way to keep both of these guys under the Detroit coaching staff going into 2023. I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move overall by Detroit. I think Aaron Glenn is one of the best. I think he's one of the rising defensive coordinators in the NFL, and we know how good Ben Johnson is. Ben Johnson did a terrific job for that Detroit Lions offense. I mean, look what Jared Goff did. Jared Goff went from pretty much a mediocre mid-range quarterback. You could even argue like a lower range quarterback. So he actually put up pretty good numbers this past year. Actually went weeks without throwing an interception. So, I mean, you got to give both those guys the credit they deserve. And I think it's a good job by Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions keeping both those guys under the coaching staff going forward. I do. So, I mean, overall, I think that's a very good job by Detroit. Have to see how Detroit's going to go into the draft in the offseason this offseason. I believe they're going to go heavy defense because the offense side, I believe, is going to be okay. Goff is going to be going into another year with the Lions. They could always draft a young quarterback to maybe be mentored by Jared Goff and eventually take over in the future. Now, they're going to have to decide what they're going to do with DeAndre Swift. Obviously, Jamal Williams coming off a tremendous year for the Detroit Lions, scoring the most touchdowns ever by a Lions running back this past season. You obviously got Amon-Ra St. Brown, a 1,000-yard receiver, number one receiver with the team. Jameson Williams coming back, now into his second year, healthy after an ACL tear he suffered during the championship game in the BCS last year. So he's going to be 100% ready to go this year. So we're going to get to see what he can do. Obviously, they're probably going to look to try to see if they can add a tight end because they traded away their tight end during the TJ Hawkinson to the Minnesota Vikings during the NFL trade deadline this past October, November. So they're probably going to be looking to sign that, maybe get some offensive line help. But either way, good move by the Detroit Lions, keeping both their coordinators going to the 2023 season. I think the Detroit Lions are going to be a team that is going to continue to build on the success they had this past offseason, where they actually played very well. And I think they're only going to get better going into the 2023 NFL season. So look out for the Detroit Lions going into 2023. Some other news that's dropped as well surrounding the Denver Broncos. And I'm going to get to the big story surrounding the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson and what happened last year in 2021 compared to obviously with 2022. The Denver Broncos have officially hired ex-Vikings linebackers coach Greg Minuski as their inside linebackers coach, and they've hired Michael Wilhoit, the former player in the NFL, as their outside linebackers head coach. So they've hired Greg Minuski and Michael Wilhoit as their linebackers coach. Minuski with the inside linebackers and Wilhoit with the outside linebackers going into the 2023 season. In terms of their overall resume, Minuski, who was the coordinator of the Washington defense from 2017 to 2019, joined several overcoaches, signing on with the Broncos officially today. The Vikings had just let go of Minuski 5 days ago as Brian Flores reshaped the defensive coaching staff in his image. It doesn't seem like Minuski will have a major position of power under Vance Joseph, who was named the defensive coordinator of the Denver Broncos as of yesterday. And he has an accomplished defensive coach and is a good get for them. I agree. Minuski is actually a very good defensive coach. I think that is a very good get for overall for the Denver Broncos. They're putting together a very nice staff overall under new head coach Sean Payton. And in terms of Will Hoyt got an interview with the Saints for their defensive coordinator position in 2022, but was let go after the season in Los Angeles as the Chargers defense surrendered 27-7 lead to the Jaguars in the wild card round. This essentially is a lateral move for the 36-year-old, and he has plenty of time to rebuild his reputation in Denver. This is him getting an opportunity to go over there to Denver under new head coach Sean Payton to really rebuild his stock, rebuild his resume, get himself back together after what was an absolute disaster for him with the LA Chargers when they blew that 27-7 lead and ultimately lost in the wild card round against the Jacksonville Jaguars this past postseason. So that's going to be a good move for Denver, and they're putting together themselves a pretty strong defensive staff overall. They also hired former New York Giants quarterback Davis Webb as their quarterbacks coach. So Davis Webb is going to get his opportunity as a coach for the first time under Sean Payton as their quarterbacks coach, and he's going to be tasked with pretty much having to try to fix Russell Wilson after the job that he did this past offseason, which was not good. Russell Wilson did not have a good year this past season. So he's going to be tasked right now with trying to help fix Russell Wilson and the issues that he had this past offseason with the Denver Broncos in his first year with the Broncos as their quarterback overall. So that's going to be very interesting to see going into the 2023 NFL season. Now I'm going to get to the big story. This one is it's quite amusing in a way. The Athletic reports that Russell Wilson in February of 2022 apparently tried to talk to ownership to try to get head coach Pete Carroll and general manager John Schneider fired from the Seattle Seahawks back in 2021. Oh boy. Now, obviously, Russell Wilson quickly refuted that story, but whenever there's smoke, there's normally fire. Do I think this is 100% accurate? You could go either way. You could say it might not be accurate at all. You could say it is. You can have your own narrative when it comes to this whole situation, but either way, I found this very, very interesting. Very, very interesting about this story breaking. And interesting that says, the Athletic's damning report of his final season in Seattle in his first disastrous year in Denver, Wilson wanted Carroll replaced by Sean Payton. There you go. There's that Sean Payton connection right there in Seattle. According to The Athletic, Wilson was reportedly convinced that Carroll and Schneider were inhibiting his quest to win additional Super Bowls and individual awards and was frustrated by Carroll's conservative offensive approach. It seems that Carroll understood better than anyone that Wilson is more of a game manager than a quarterback who can single-handedly carry a team to a championship. That Wilson wanted Payton to take over in Seattle could be a good sign that Wilson will follow Payton to lead in 2023 after reportedly being detached from his coaches and teammates in 2022. Roto-World, Dennis Carter outlined how Payton might get most of his declining Wilson this season. I find that very, very interesting. I find that very interesting overall with that whole situation. That Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll believed that Russell Wilson was more of a game manager at that point of his career, while Russell Wilson was pretty much saying, no, I think I could still be a good quarterback in this league. I think I could go out there and I could win games by myself. I don't need to be a game manager. A little bit of tossing and tallying going on between Russell Wilson and his coach and his general manager at the point. And the fact he tried to find a way to get Sean Payton under as the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks and wanted to replace Carroll with that. Now, obviously, it backfired in his face. I mean, I don't know how conservative you could be at that point when you're at Seattle's offense, when you had both DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett as your wide receivers, and you also had Chris Carson when he was healthy as your running back. So, I mean, how conservative can you really get on the offensive side of Seattle? I mean, geez, I mean, that offense was already pretty good to begin with. But, I mean, how much worse can you get overall? So, I find that very interesting with the Seattle Seahawks, whole situation over there. And obviously with it being rumored that the Denver Broncos, at that point, Russell Wilson wanted to try to get Sean Payton hired as the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. I find that very, very interesting. Very interesting overall. What's up, Jeff? The only person missing here is Negative Nancy. Yeah. Yeah, we had a good laugh about that one last night. Yes, Chad. How are you doing, by the way, Chad? Good to see you, bro. But yeah, I find that very interesting overall, that Russell Wilson, and it's kind of ironic that Russell Wilson wanted to try to get, Sean Payton hired as the head coach over there in Seattle, and he wanted to try to replace Pete Carroll at the time, and all of a sudden it backfired in his face, and now we look at 2022 and how bad that went under then head coach Nathaniel Hackett, who's now the offensive coordinator of the New York Jets, and obviously Sean Payton now is the head coach over there with the Denver Broncos, and Russell Wilson was looking to pretty much have him hired as the head coach 2 years ago. So now we're really going to see how this dynamic between Russell Wilson and Sean Payton is really going to work out in 2023, after Payton was pretty much sitting out the NFL after he left the New Orleans Saints in 2021, sat out a year in 2022, and now he's back as the head coach of the Denver Broncos in 2023. So let's see how that dynamic works between Sean Payton overall and Russell Wilson. It could end up being very good. It could end up blowing up in their face. We'll have to wait and see how that combination is going to work in 2023. But I find that very interesting about that article going into this year. Now, a couple of other interesting free agent notes that could be coming. The Athletic's Jay Morrison writes that safety Jesse Bates, who was a franchise tag last year by the Cincinnati Bengals, sounds like that he's as good as gone from the Bengals this upcoming offseason. How you doing, Coach? Thank you so much for coming by the live stream, Coach. If you want to hop on, you're more than welcome to, my friend. But they're saying that Jesse Bates is pretty much as good as gone from the Cincinnati Bengals, which pretty much, in my opinion, they're looking like he's going to get paid the bag. And he's going to be the top-rated safety going into this free agent market in about 2.5 weeks. Bates was a good, solid good soldier and played last year on the franchise tag, but he'll be likely one of the biggest paid free agents this offseason with a number of teams pursuing safety help. The Bengals drafted Dax Hill last offseason to take Bates' spot. Though through Bates, he said he loved to return to Cincinnati, the actions will speak louder than words on Cincinnati's desire or lack thereof to give him a long-term deal. Pretty much saying in that indication that they have no desire whatsoever to give Jesse Bates a long-term deal with Cincinnati going forward. That they pretty much drafted Dax Hill to be the replacement for Jesse Bates going into the 2023 NFL season. And unless Jesse Bates is willing to come down significantly for what him and his agent are looking for into the free agent market, which I don't blame him. He's going to get paid a whole lot of money this offseason. I would demand top money to be part of that free agent market. At the same time, it makes complete sense why Jesse Bates would want to command the type of money that he's interested in looking for this NFL offseason. So I don't blame him one bit for why he'd want top money overall from the Cincinnati Bengals or on the free agent market. But it sounds like that Jesse Bates is as good as gone. He's not going back to Cincinnati unless, barring some unforeseen circumstance, by now until the tag deadline on March 7th, Jesse Bates all of a sudden decides, or the Cincinnati Bengals decide, hey, we're going to place the franchise tag on you for one more year. We're going to keep you here because Cincinnati has other decisions they have to make. T. Higgins, who has been rumored to potentially be a trade candidate this offseason, he could also be in line for a long-term deal. And there's been rumors that Cincinnati is potentially looking at locking up T. Higgins to a long-term deal this offseason, as well as they're potentially looking at locking up their quarterback, Joe Burrow, to a long-term deal as well. So Cincinnati is pretty much looking at a lot of players looking to cash in this offseason on long-term deals, and Jesse Bates might be SOL going into this offseason. So, Cincinnati, you're on the clock. What are you going to end up doing this offseason? What are you going to end up paying? Who are you going to end up paying? Who are you going to end up paying this offseason, Cincy? You had another year where you made it to at least the AFC Championship game. Last year, the Super Bowl. This past season, the AFC Championship game. You have a lot of guys that are young that are looking for big money deals, including a quarterback. What are you going to do? What is Cincinnati going to do? They're going to be one of the most intriguing aspects to watch this year. Cowboys always use the franchise tag on people. This needs to freaking stop every single year. I don't know who you guys are using the franchise tag on this year. I honestly believe that you guys are not using the franchise tag, and you guys have some other things to worry about, like who's playing running back for your team this coming season. Because a lot of rumors going around about Ezekiel Elliott that he might be a cut candidate this offseason if he doesn't come back down. And there's even rumors going around. I forget who said it. Somebody says that Ezekiel Elliott is as good as done. And he has very little left in the tank as an NFL player this year. That I find very interesting. That the NFL and a lot of NFL GMs believe that Ezekiel Elliott is done as a top-level running back, and they believe he has very little left in the tank. And then obviously you have Tony Pollard, who's coming off an injury he had this past at the end of the season. He is going to be an unrestricted free agent, another running back that's going to be looking to get paid top dollar this offseason. So Dallas has a question of what the hell they're going to do with the running back position, unless they're going to go into the draft or maybe look into the free agent market to potentially solve their running back position. And also their quarterback is coming off a whole bunch of turnovers and a whole bunch of interceptions that he threw this offseason, with the fact he led the NFL in interceptions this past offseason. So what the hell is the Dallas Cowboys going to do? That's going to be a very interesting thing to look at in terms of what they do with Zeke, in terms of what they're going to do with Dak, in terms of what they're going to do with Pollard, in terms of what they're going to do with the young players. That's going to be something to monitor going into the offseason overall with – it's going to be something to look at overall in terms of the monetization of how they're going to be able to handle this whole offseason with the Dallas Cowboys. Also, it sounds like that the Baltimore Ravens are looking to trade or cut veteran safety Chuck Clark. Clark was rumored to be on the trade block last offseason after Baltimore signed Marcus Williams and drafted Kyle Hamilton in the first round. He enters the final year of his contract extension with a $6.7 million cap hit. Obviously, I know why they're trying to think they're going to want to cap. They're going to cut him. Baltimore could save $3.4 million by cutting Clark, or $4.1 million by trading him. Obviously, trading him is the better option. But with teams knowing that they want to cut him as well, they're going to probably wait until they cut him, unless they're willing to take a very low draft pick for Clark. Clark has been steady, if not sensational, over the past 4 years for the Ravens in a major role. That makes a lot of sense. Why they would think about potentially trading him this offseason. And I'm very interested to see, what's going to happen with Chuck Clark and in terms of like what he could be commanding in the offseason, being that he was one of the top-rated safeties this past season, the past few years. So we're going to be curious to see what's going to happen overall with Chuck Clark going into this offseason. He's going to get paid money. Probably not Jesse Bates type money, but he's going to get paid his money overall. The Joneses did it to themselves. At least have a plan. You're not wrong on that, Arku, and I feel your frustration, bro. The Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones need to come up with some type of plan with Dallas over there, because right now they're looking like an absolute train wreck because they have no idea what the hell they're doing and what they're going to do about their individual positions going forward. So that's going to be very interesting to see going forward. I talked about this. I threw this in the chat when I was talking with my guys, Mitch Kovsky and Philly Halftime. The Athletics' Bo Wolf writes that Nakobe Dean, the second-round pick out of Georgia, University of Georgia last year, who didn't pretty much play at all last year for the Philadelphia Eagles when they made it to the Super Bowl, he is penciled into a starting role for the 2023 season. Pretty much, Nakobe Dean, who is dealing with a lot of injuries in 2022. And that's pretty much why he didn't really play at all for the 2023 season. He is pretty much now going into 2023, assuming there's no setback, assuming he doesn't get hurt, assuming Philadelphia doesn't decide to look at, they see somebody at the linebacker position, they're like, you know what? We can't pass on this dude. We got to go out there and we got to draft him. Assuming that doesn't happen, it sounds like that Nakobe Dean is going to be one of the middle linebackers going into the 2023 season, though we don't know what the potential defensive coordinator of the Eagles, which we don't know who it is right now, because the fact that Jonathan Gannon is now the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, and also current Philadelphia Eagles middle linebackers, Kaiser White and TJ Edwards, are both unrestricted free agents. And it sounds like one, if not both of them, could be as good as gone going into this offseason for Philadelphia. So they're obviously going to be looking at Dean to take a jump in his second season in the NFL and potentially be a guy that's going to take over at that middle linebacker position going forward. Jeffy, are the Giants going to be good this year? I'll let you know about that in a second. I'm going to talk about the Giants in a little bit, about Daniel Jones and all the rumors going around Daniel Jones. But I'm glad you asked me that question, Greg. I'm going to give you an answer in a little bit. But I'm not really surprised that the Eagles are going to be looking to have Nakobe Dean penciled into a role. They drafted him in the second round. He pretty much had a redshirt year this past season. So he's going to be getting a year now of development, getting healthy, and he's going to be thrown out there at one of the middle linebacker positions for the 2023 NFL season and see how he's going to do for the Philadelphia Eagles now that he's going to get an opportunity as a starter for the Eagles at that middle linebacker position going forward. So we're going to have to wait and see how Dean is going to translate into the NFL. But either way, I find that very interesting, but at the same time, not surprising one bit at all that is the case for the Eagles going into the 2023 season. Some other news going around. The Athletics' Joe Buscaglia writes that he expects the Bills to put their best foot forward to retain linebacker Tremaine Edmunds, who is expected to be one of the most sought-out free agents at the linebacker position and in free agency on March 15th. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills coming off a very disappointing season. Last year, they ended up losing in the divisional round to the Kansas City Chiefs in that amazing overtime game. And then obviously this year, with all the hype around Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, they disappointed again with that divisional loss to the Cincinnati Bengals in Buffalo. So Buffalo is right now they're in a little bit of a quandary right now of what the hell they're going to do at the linebacker position going forward. So Edmunds right now, he's probably going to be commanding top dollar on the free agent market. Buffalo already signed Matt Milano to a long-term deal. How much money are you going to be wanting to throw at that linebacker position if you're Buffalo, when you have other needs right now that you have to worry about? Because obviously that team's not a complete team, but the fact that they couldn't find a way to get it done against the goddamn Cincinnati Bengals. So Buffalo, I mean, how much money do you seriously want to throw at that linebacker position? Do you want to throw 17 mil out there? Again, for two linebackers? Or do you want to try to fill out maybe some of your positions in the secondary? Because I believe Micah Hyde is also a free agent. Miz, what's going on, bro? Thank you so much for coming by the live stream. We got no shot at Edmunds. He's asking for 17 mil a year. Yeah, I'm actually believing you on that one. I think we don't. Unless his asking price comes down or his value is not where he wants it to be. Like I've told guys, go after Long Jr., linebacker of the Titans. He's a beast. Yeah, I've seen Long Jr. I think he's a pretty decent linebacker. Depends on how well he fits in the system. I don't want Bobby Wagner. No, he's too. I don't want Bobby Wagner. I don't want him. He's over the hill, and he would be better on a Super Bowl ready team. I don't think the Giants are going to be a Super Bowl ready team unless they go out there and make significant moves and strengthen up that depth going into the 2023 season. I think we're at least like a year or so away. But yeah, I find that very interesting about the Buffalo Bills. As my co-host, one of my co-hosts is on here, Mr. Coach Ed Gladney of the Amazing World of Sports. How you doing, Coach? He's talking about Tremaine Edmonds, his contract he's demanding, are looking for this offseason. But how you doing, Coach?
I'm hanging in there. How about you, Joe?
I'm hanging in there too. Another NFL day, another NFL Football Friday, NFL tags. Seeing who's going to get tagged in the next few weeks or so. So it's going to be very interesting. A lot of the stories, everything popping out right now. Aaron Rodgers has come out of the dark room, ladies and gentlemen. That's breaking news. Aaron Rodgers is officially come out of the dark room, and we're going to find out what's going to be happening with his decision going forward in the NFL. Who's he going to go? Where's he going to go?
Staying in Green Bay. What's up, man?
What if we draft Sanders in the first round? Very strong linebacker. I gotta do some scouting on him. I've been doing a lot of offense.
Sanders is he transferred. He was at Alabama for a couple of years before he transferred over to Arkansas. He stepped up his game. He's a combination defensive end and linebacker. He's very physical, fast. So if you draft him and he's there, it's not a bad look. So.
Mm-hmm. Is he more of a pass rush specialist too? Like, what is he better against? The run, or is he better against is he better rusher off the edge? Or like, what's his strength of his game, and like, what does he need to work on?
Well, I mean, he's still developing as a off the ball linebacker. So it does look like he's more comfortable coming off the edge or blitzing as an off ball linebacker. But he does have some drop skills. He does drop into the underneath coverage, and he's had a couple of nice interceptions. So or one interception, I think, if I remember correctly. But he has good skills. He can get sideline to sideline. He's not too stiff. He has a little twitchiness to him. So he if you draft him and he's there, that's fine. But again, it depends on what you do also in free agency. Because if you get, like you said, a Edmonds, a Tremaine, TJ Edwards. I had an article. I forgot. I had an article that gave me 5 linebackers. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, Miz brought one up earlier before too. Long Jr. from the Tennessee Titans. That guy's gonna be a free agent as well. And Zach Cunningham was just recently released as well. He's gonna be on the free agent market too. I believe he's also from the Titans. So
okay,
that's another guy that could potentially the Giants can look at, not sign necessarily, but it all depends on what players fit in with that scheme as well. With Wink Martindale coming back.
Exactly. And here we go. It says Tremaine Edmonds is one. This is value of fan sided. So they're pretty reliable. Let me see. TJ Denzel Perryman from the Raiders.
I like him. I like Denzel Perryman.
Jermaine Pratt from Cincinnati.
Okay. He's not. He's like a depth guy, isn't he? Depth linebacker.
Yeah. And then of course they said Landon Collins is the other one. I'm intrigued to see if they're going to sign him and bring him back. And is he really going to be a true linebacker, or is he going to be like is he going to be more of a rotation
hybrid?
More of a hybrid, but more, instead of a steady, because you still have Beavers coming back, and do you want it to be Beavers and Collins, as your starting linebackers? Hey,
well, you got to factor in McFadden too, depending on how he develops and looks this offseason.
Yeah, true. McFadden is another one, but that's what I'm getting at. That's why to me it's you still need a veteran linebacker. Even if you want to draft a rookie, you still need a veteran linebacker who's going to be able to lead the guys. And maybe that is Collins. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, if you got Edmonds is going to be costly. We all know that. Edwards, he's not going to be as costly, but I do think he fits in, and I think he fits in perfectly. He
He
also knows
does.
the NFC. He knows the NFC East, so
Mhm.
it's not like he doesn't know the other teams in the division. So he's a thumper. He can play. He can play in pass coverage. So I think my
I think they
Steelers
should
should.
too. I'm Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner
I
is
think
not the same player he was.
I think he ends up back in Seattle.
Yeah, I do
I don't know.
too.
I see him back in Seattle. So
I do too. I think he was just trying to go for a Super Bowl this past year, and he thought he was going to win something with LA, but we saw what happened with them. He might as well just go back to Seattle and just finish up his career over there. Chad says, "What's going
what's up,
on,
Chad?
Coach?"
What's up, Chad? What's up, Raph?
Hey, Raph. Thank you guys for coming by the live stream. I appreciate it. If Rodgers is trying to escape the world, what makes Jets fans think he wants to any part of New York?
No. No, I said before, if I'm the Jets, I'm not even looking at him first. Sorry. I know you
No.
check in on him, but I'm going after Lamar Jackson first. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I really think Rodgers is going to stay because he pretty much has the same thing almost in Green Bay that the Jets would offer. So
Yeah.
stay with what you're familiar with.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's my opinion. So
And it's also well, the thing I'm interested in with because Lamar Jackson thing is
good.
fascinating because
Thank you.
what is Baltimore doing? Like, what is Baltimore? There's been rumors about Baltimore potentially tagging and trading Lamar Jackson. And I mean, if they
Hmm.
do that, who's their quarterback? Are they feeling comfortable enough to go with Huntley going into the 2023 season? Or are they
They
going to go into the draft?
they might be.
I
I mean,
mean,
they might be comfortable with him. I mean, didn't he make the Pro Bowl this year?
yes, he did, but like with 2 touchdowns, only a few
No, I know,
games.
but
I,
the point I'm making is he knows the system. They're familiar with him. They can probably build it around him. So, I mean, how do you feel about our new running
Oh, yeah,
backs
Jeff
coach?
Nixon. The Giants just hired Jeff Nixon as the running backs coach, who was an assistant head coach with the Carolina Panthers last season. A lot of experience. A lot of experience with him.
I really, I have to research him. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about him.
I'll send you the article in the private chat so you can read up a little bit more on him. I read the article about it a little bit earlier, and he's been coaching the running backs pretty much since 1997. So he's had a lot of
Ooh,
experience coaching in the collegiate level as well as in the NFL. So I mean,
okay,
that alone gets me very interested on his what he could do for the Giants going forward. So I actually don't mind the move at all. I think it's a very good move for the Giants. Just seeing if I
okay.
can
I
find the
mean,
article right now. Where is it? Let me see. Yeah, they announced the news, I believe, this morning. There we go. Jeff Giants reportedly. Here we go.
get my
There you go, Coach. Just put it in the private chat from Big Blue View. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Oh, trust me, I'm gonna get to that one because we talked about this myself, Coach, and NYG22 on the Heart of the City. We talked about that whole situation with Daniel Jones, and you know what? Screw it. Let's get to it right now. The report going out is that Daniel Jones switched from his original agency of CAA to go to First Athletes First agency now, and a report came out that says that Daniel Jones is now trying or is reportedly asking for around $45 million per season from the New York Giants or whomever wants to sign him if the Giants aren't interested in giving that type of deal.
Mhm,
I don't know what to
mhm,
believe about this. See, that's the thing. Miz said it best. It's smokescreen season, everyone. It's rumor
mhm.
season. When you get right after the Super Bowl and right before franchise tag, deadline, free agency, you're going to be hearing a lot of crazy rumors going around the NFL. What's going on? No Mets, no Nets, no Jets.
So,
I
something
mean,
on that.
I don't know if it's
Okay,
false
good.
or not. I don't know if it's false or not. I really don't. I'm gonna go on the. I'm gonna say that it could be true because at the same time, it does sound like it could be. It does sound like it could be a false, but at the same time, do I blame Daniel Jones if he's asking for that much money with how the cap is going to explode in the coming seasons, and B, with how he played this past offseason, with how the other quarterbacks are going to be making money this offseason, and with other quarterbacks, like a Kirk Cousins,
Hmm.
Jared Goff, and these other quarterbacks, Ryan Tannehill, are making the money that they're making.
Hmm.
Do I blame Daniel Jones asking for the money he is? Absolutely not. Young fella, go out there and go get your money. I do not blame this dude one bit if he wants to make his money in the offseason at all. But do I think it's 100% true? I think there's some fabrication for behind it. But I think in terms of Daniel Jones, and I'll let you give your analysis on this in a second, Coach. But Daniel Jones, in my opinion, I think he's around a 38 to $40 million a year quarterback. I'd probably say 38 is the sweet spot because I think he was showing some signs that he could become a top level quarterback in the NFL. There are some things I still believe he needs to work on. Obviously, the talent. You could say that he doesn't have the talent. You could say that he's like lacking at certain playmakers at the wide receiver and the tight end position. We agree. He had nobody on his team besides Saquon Barkley. The interior offensive line and Evan Neal, for the most part, were not good all season. So, yes, that goes in Daniel Jones' favor in terms of looking for the type of money he's looking at. The coaching staff did an excellent job helping to get and refine Daniel Jones' mechanics, work on some things that he was messing up on. His turnover ratio was down. We all understand that. But do I think Daniel Jones is a $45 million a year quarterback? No. Would I be upset if Daniel Jones is demanding and commanding the type of money he's looking for, $45 million a year? Absolutely not. It's not my money. Coach has said it a million times. They're not paying our bills. They're not,
Hmm.
providing for us. Let these guys go out there and get whatever the hell money they want. They don't owe the Giants anything. You kidding me? To me, if Daniel Jones wants $45 million a year, go out there and go see if you can get it. Because we all know in the NFL, some people are going to say, oh, it's never going to happen. He's not going to get his money. It's just fabrication. Really? Do you know how many players out there we think that are not worth this type of money and then they end up getting paid the bag in the offseason? Because team is going to be desperate
Hmm.
enough to think that Daniel Jones, 25 years old, going to be 26, coming off a pretty good season, developing young quarterback, is a dual threat quarterback who had 4,000 yards total on the season. You don't think that this guy is only going to get better? I don't blame him one bit if he's going to be wanting 40, 45 million. Do I think the report's completely true? No. But we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen the closer we get to the tag deadline. For me, I've kept saying it the entire time. March 7th. That is the date. That is the date you need to get something worked out with Daniel Jones long term. Because if we have to slap that franchise tag on Daniel Jones, it is going to severely hurt us in terms of other moves we want to make in the offseason, namely Saquon Barkley. So Daniel Jones getting slapped with that franchise tag and the implications with Daniel Jones when it comes to his deal could impact what happens with Saquon Barkley. I still think I do believe Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback of the Giants in 2023. I have no reason to think he won't. Saquon Barkley, I'm starting to get more towards like the 55, 45. He'll still be a Giant. But I mean, there is a possibility he might not be here because of the fact that the devaluation of the running back position and because of the fact that I think that Saquon Barkley and with the running back market, with the amount of money it's going to be getting this offseason, with the amount of quality running backs coming into free agency this season, Barkley's going to want to get paid his money. And I don't blame a guy, 26-year-old, coming off a bounce back season after he's been dealing with injuries and with how devalued the running back position is. But in terms of Daniel Jones, and I'll finish it off with this, do I think he's honestly asking for $45 million a year? No, I just think that's being leaked out there. Do I think Daniel Jones is a $45 million a year quarterback? No. Do I be mad if he's asking for that? No. Go out there and ask for your money, young fella. Coach, take it away.
As far as DJ, you said it best, man. It's not our money. I said it before. It's not our money, man. And I
Mm-hmm.
say that in this context, the way people are going crazy over his contract talks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's contract negotiations,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Some players are going to start high, teams are going to start low. If he
Mm-hmm.
asks for 45, okay, that means that's where his starting price is. Doesn't mean he's going to go up from there. He can only come down. And
Mm-hmm.
the Giants, if they start at 25, they can. That means they're going to
The
go
normal
up.
guy.
What's up, everybody in the chat? So, um, everyone needs to temper it down and stop going crazy. I mean, and attacking each other.
No.
That's where my context of it's not our money. I understand people are interested in the salary cap and getting players on your team and fitting under the
Mm-hmm.
cap. Cool, I get it. But Joe Shane is going to do what he needs to do to make it work. You
Mm-hmm.
still have Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams is a $32 million tag right now to play this coming season. We all know that's not
Mm-hmm.
going to happen. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to happen. Whether they skim it down to 20, maybe even down to 18, that's money that you can use to pay other free agents. Galladay's contract, if they do what I think they're going to do, they're going to cut him post June, that'll be your money, roughly about 3.5 million to pay for your draft picks.
What's up,
So
AK?
right there, what's up, AK? Right there, that's going to take care of your rookies and also leave you money to work with next year. I mean, you also have Adoree Jackson. You can do things with Adoree Jackson's contracts. So
Mm-hmm.
there are ways to create money
Mm-hmm.
to get free agents in here.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%, Coach.
Oh yeah, the $45 million. It's like I said, it's negotiations, and I don't think people really understand that. Some people, they just hear it. They hear what media says. You see it on TV. Other top level quote unquote content creators, and you run with it, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to stop. You have a brain. Think. I mean, it's just that simple. Think. If you take a second and you think, don't listen to everyone else. Yes, it's good to listen to some people who are knowledgeable or seem knowledgeable, but you take that information and you go ahead and you do your research and you do more research and then you go from there. I mean, it's really, really not as hard as people make it seem. What do I think Daniel Jones is going to sign for? You said it, Jeff. About 38, 40, somewhere in that range.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where he's going to be. So,
I I agree with you. I think that ultimately, and no Mets, no Nets, no Jets. I mean, if content creators are going crazy about this whole situation with Daniel Jones asking 45 million, I don't even know what to say. I think it's ridiculous, but to each their own. I personally don't think it's that big of a deal. He's not paid. If Joe Shane, we trust Joe Shane as our general manager. If he believes that Daniel Jones is a $45 million a year quarterback, he will pay him $45 million a year. If he doesn't, they will negotiate and try to work the number closer to what both sides are looking for. Negotiation, period. This is what people don't
exactly.
understand. They're just running with the narrative
Exactly.
because it gives them a way to get content out there. No, let the process
Exactly.
play out. We have a week and a half at least until the NFL tag deadline. Let Shane and Jones try to work out a deal, and if they can get something done, then you can tag Saquon. If you feel that
Mhm.
Saquon is still part of if you still think that you want Saquon here, you tag Saquon, you sign Daniel Jones long term, and guess what? You have Jones and Barkley at least for 2023, and then until the middle of July, you could see if you could work out a long-term deal with Saquon. And then if you can't, you have him on the franchise tag. If you can, that's awesome. You have your two core offensive players here long term, and then you could work on what you do with the rest of the offseason in terms of the wide receivers, the interior offensive line, the defensive line, the linebackers, secondary play, depth on the roster. You first take care of your two top players that are free agents, and you can work on everything else. But I mean, I get it. I'm not doing it with the Daniel Jones stuff. I'm not doing it, but because everybody has their narrative and their agenda out there with this whole situation. But at the same time, just let the process play out. Let Daniel Jones and his agents work with Joe Schoen and the Giants front office and see if they can come together on some type of deal long term that will keep Jones there. Maybe it's a 5-year deal. I heard that it could be like maybe there's a rumor going around it could be like a 5-year deal with a potential opt-out after the second or third year. And that way, depending on how Jones performs during the first couple of seasons, and if he, performs very well, he could go into 2024, 2025, 2026, and go right back into the offseason and try to see if he can make more money, if he plays better, up his value. So, I mean, just let the process play out. That's the best thing I could say is let the process play out, and then we'll see what happens between now and March 7th. I am trusting Joe Schoen, no matter what he does with whoever he has on that team. I don't care who it is. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Julian Love, Xavier McKinney, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Andrew Thomas. I don't care who it is. I trust my general manager that when all is said and done, he will make the right decision to help the team out going forward. Plain and simple. Exactly. It is market value. I agree with you, Arku. Former Seahawks, now Steelers linebacker coach Aaron Curry trying to get Bobby Wagner and young Seahawks players to join my Steelers. I mean, you just said it right there. Aaron Curry, former Steelers linebacker and former Seahawk connection. You shouldn't be surprised by that one at all, Chad, that's going to be the case. Connections in the NFL go long and wild. Some of these content guys simply don't like Jones and become an absolute obsession. Yeah, well, I mean, I know. Trust me. I know. Coach knows. We all know. They get it on the Twitter space, whatever the hell those things are. I got it. Like it's ridiculous, but to each their own. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, whether they're right or wrong. It's an opinion for a reason. Same thing I'm like with my Thunder. Let the season play out and go from there. Yeah, well, I'm going to be doing a basketball stream tomorrow, Arku. So if you want to talk about the Thunder, you can talk about the Thunder all you want because I'm going to be debuting a basketball stream tomorrow. It's similar to this one, except it's going to be about the Nets and basketball. So we're going to talk about the Nets. Coach can talk about the Knicks, basketball, as we get ready for the second half of the NBA season and get closer to the playoffs. Obviously, the NBA season, second half of the season kicked off last night with the Sixers and the Grizzlies, as well as the Lakers and the Warriors. So I'll be talking a lot of basketball going into tomorrow. Let the season play out and go from there. Yes. Little Giants will still suck when you're overpaid for Danny Dimes. We am boys. How's Dak Prescott doing for you, the dark net? It's all good, bro. That's fine. Like I said, just let the process play out. If Joe Schoen doesn't think that he's worth that type of money, he will make it necessary. Lakers do look good. I agree. But yeah, that's that whole situation right now with the Giants.
Yeah, it's like you said it best. I trust Shane. He's done a good job so far. I mean, the theory that if he pays Daniel Jones more than XYZ amount of money, you're losing faith in him. It's crazy. I mean, if you go through the histories of all general managers, they hit on some, they miss on some. The great Ozzie Newsome has hit on some and he's missed on some. Does not mean he's not a good GM. So, if he pays them, $40 million, okay. But I also say, look at the damn market. Why are you lowballing your own quarterback? It just again.
There's some people that want to pay him $20 million a year.
Exactly. No, I
Really?
saw I saw somebody 10. I saw somebody say $10 million.
Oh yeah, because
Literally
10 million a year
10.
is going to get it done for a franchise for a quarterback. Yeah, that's really going to happen in
So
2023.
look, Shane is going to do well. They did well with the draft last year.
Hmm.
I trust they're going to do well with the draft this year. Whatever it is, trade up, trade back, get more picks, get more bodies in, whatever. Get good guys to come in and fit the culture. We also have it. Look, last year we again another year of all those injuries, but those guys coming back are coming. There's a lot of quality guys who were injured who are coming back who are going to help the team.
Exactly.
So it's let's temper it down and let's go ahead. Shane, do your thing. Dave's, do your thing. Coaches, do your thing. And let's get ready for a 2023 season. And let's see if we can go knock the Eagles off the perch as the division leaders, and then you know move far in the playoffs. And let's see what we do. So
That's perfectly well said. Trust the process, trust the GM, trust the coaching staff in the front office to do what's necessary to get this team in the best position to succeed in 2023. Normal guy says Saints are redoing Tyrann Matthews' contract because they are in cap hell. Yes, they are. The Saints are in disastrous cap hell right now, and especially a team that's coming off a very rough season overall in 2022. So, and obviously Dennis Allen now being the head coach, officially being named the head coach going into this season. So we'll have to wait and see what the Saints are going to be doing this offseason. A lot of rumors of Derek Carr potentially being linked to them as well as the Jets. So we'll see. Are they going to give Jameis Winston another shot? I don't think so, but you never know. So that'll be another interesting aspect to look for the Saints going forward. Cowboys in 2090, this is our year. Yeah, well, Cowboys fans are already starting that whole thing. Except for Arthur. He's more
29,
down. 2090,
29.
yeah.
Wow.
29. No, you're being a little too kind on that one. You got to think of the year 3000 at this point. 3000 and Jerry Jones will still be owning the team at that point.
Oh, or at least they'll probably have his head in a
Like one of those,
cryogenic.
like one of those cryogenic
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Like one of those cryogenic chamber things going on with Jerry Jones. Still like saying, "How about them Cowboys in the cryogenic chamber like they had in Demolition Man back in
Mm-hmm.
1993."
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna be having like
Mm-hmm.
that type of thing going on with Jerry Jones, and they'll still be saying that the Cowboys are gonna go all the way this year. Cowboys need a quarterback and a running back and a play caller. Well, Cowboys have a very interesting decision to make at running back because I don't know if you heard about it, Coach. There was a report that
Mm-hmm.
came out earlier in the week about a lot of NFL executives believe that
Mm-hmm.
Ezekiel Elliott is done and he has like very little left to offer in the NFL, and that they don't think that they think that at best he was should pretty much play on a minimum contract. So I find that interesting. And then Tony Pollard is an unrestricted free agent, although he's coming off an injury that he suffered towards the end of the season. I believe it was a fractured ankle. So he's going to be a free
Mm-hmm.
agent going into the on the market. And then obviously they're looking for an offensive coordinator because Kellen Moore took the job with the Los Angeles Chargers as the offensive coordinator over there. So they're going to be looking for a new offensive coordinator. And of
Didn't
course,
didn't they sign a coordinator?
unless I missed it, maybe they did. If anybody knows in the chat if the Cowboys signed an offensive coordinator, just throw it in there. But I don't know if they did. Maybe they did in the recent days. So exactly, Coach. Why are we lowballing our quarterback nuts? Because people don't like him. If you don't like him, that's why. Cowboys got the best quarterback. Stop it. Now I know you're being
Yeah.
delusional. The best quarterback at throwing interceptions right after last year, yes. Come back down to earth, please. Come back down to earth. I know you're Cowboys fans. I know how you
Yeah,
guys get, but please
Brian
come back down to earth.
Schottenheimer. They signed
That's
Brian
right.
Schottenheimer
That's
for
right.
February
They hired
6th.
Schottenheimer. Good. I didn't even think about that. Thank you, Coach. And speaking of a little bit of a reunion here with the heart of the city, here's our guy, Mr. Unpopular Opinion of Sports himself, and he just logged off now, but I think he'll come back on. Y'all don't believe in. I'm not calling him that stupid ass nickname, but yeah, I believe in Daniel Jones. I do.
Here's
But
a
thank
funny
you, Coach. I didn't even think
thing.
about that. Schottenheimer. Thank you. I didn't even think about that. Same guys who preach patience with Jalen Hurts now want to completely get rid of DJ. Makes me sense. It's so stupid. I'm not getting into the whole narrative with this whole crap. I'm so sick of it. I'm not getting into the narrative with this garbage with that whole thing. Let people think what they want. Let people say what they want. It is what it is. You can't change people's minds. We get it. NYG, I guess he's having a little issues right now with his connection at the moment. So this draft is stacked with running backs. We're not worried. Are you gonna bring
I
back Pollard?
actually, what I actually did, I did I'm a full mock first round, just playing around.
Mm,
And when I got to the Cowboys, I actually selected Bijan Robinson for him because of the running back situation. But
mm,
okay, he's from Texas, playing at the University of Texas, so and he was sitting there, and I said, you know what? I said Dak is probably out the door.
mm.
Pollard is coming back, and then yeah, I didn't want to do it, but I was being fair playing the board, and I said, and I thought about it. I said, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
No,
Come draft time, if they did select Bijan Robinson because of the whole situation of what's going on over there. So, it wouldn't surprise me.
I'd have to admit I
And then
really hate that pick if it actually happens. The Cowboys
yeah.
getting Robinson. A lot of people,
Hmm.
I know it's projection, but a lot of people thinking that this kid could be one of the next big running backs coming out of the NFL. He's projected by far as the number one running back for
Hmm.
Texas,
Hmm.
and he's good too. I would, I would absolutely hate that. Hate
Yes.
that if
Yeah.
he somehow
Hmm.
gets selected by the Dallas Cowboys. I'd be sick to my stomach if that
And
happens.
Schottenheimer is a coach. Look what he did was trying to do with the Jets. I mean,
Mm.
he likes the running game. So, what's up, NYG?
What's good? Can y'all hear me?
What's up, man?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah,
hear you. What's going on, bro?
Yo, what's up, man? Nah, chilling, man. Just figured I'd pop on here for a minute, man. I got a meeting in a little bit, just showing y'all some love. What y'all talking about?
Just talking about NFL news and notes that's going around. Talked about the Daniel Jones stuff. Talk about some free agent stuff, coaching hires by other teams. Obviously, our guy Davis Webb getting hired as the quarterbacks coach. That's another
hmm
one. Davis Webb
Yeah,
now being the quarterbacks coach of the Denver Broncos. I thought that could happen. I had a feeling you could get hired as a
that
quarterbacks
hurt.
coach. I
That
just didn't
hurt.
think it would happen with the Broncos, but obviously,
That hurt.
they hired him to fix Russell Wilson.
the
Hmm.
Oh, did
Hmm.
you hear about the
Yeah,
Russell Wilson story, by the way? About him
Yeah,
trying to get
trying to get
Schneider and Carroll fired over there in Seattle
fired.
and try to bring in Peyton?
yeah, man.
Hmm.
That's a mess over there, man.
Yeah, it
It ain't gonna
is.
work. It ain't gonna end well.
No, I don't think so either. I think this is a home run, Hail Mary attempt by John Elway to try to see if he can get any type of cohesion, any type of way to fix Russ, but I don't know if it's going to work out well.
The Tulane
So,
running back. I'm sorry. Go
no,
ahead,
I was
coach.
gonna plug real quick. The reports were saying that that Rodgers was coming back. I meant to talk to y'all about that.
Mm-hmm.
They saying now that there's a good chance that he gonna be back in Green Bay. I mean, I know there's something that we had talked about before. So what
Mm-hmm.
y'all think about that? Because that takes
I,
a quarterback off the market now, especially when you
yeah,
talk about the New York Jets.
Coach,
yeah, yeah. What did I say? I said
you
I'm
just
not
said it,
going for
yeah.
Rodgers first. I'm actually trying to see what I can get. What they want for
Mm-hmm.
Jackson
Mm-hmm.
in Baltimore. So that, and then Carr is the last resort. I did. We all knew. We all basically deep down in our hearts, we figured Rodgers would stay over there, and why would he go to the Jets and not stay? It's the same situation. I mean, young receivers, decent running game. Questions on the offensive line, good defense.
Mm-hmm.
So why not stay in Green Bay? It's what you know then.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but
And
I
what
think
team gives you the better chance? I know Green Bay had a down season, man, but look at the AFC, man. You going over there, man. You
Yeah.
you're gonna have your hands full dealing with them teams, especially in if you
yeah,
go to the Jets in that division. So the South, the North over there with the Packers. I mean, the Bears are down. The Lions. I mean, they're coming. But the Vikings, they might fall off a little bit. They have some problems. So I mean, if they have a good draft and have a good offseason, I mean, they could be right back there again. They almost made it last year. I mean, so if I'm him and the Packers and just any team trying to go after Aaron Rodgers, it was in the best interest of everybody and everybody in the NFL for Aaron Rodgers to stay in Green Bay.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. I mean, Rodgers he should be comfortable where he's at, and you just said it before. Let's compare the quarterbacks in the AFC, the NFC. Who's the best quarterback you'd say right now in the NFC? Besides Rodgers.
In the NFC?
The NFC, there's not a lot of good quarterbacks. Jared Goff,
mean,
Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones,
looking at
Jalen
Hurts,
people like that. I mean, they're all they're all kind of in that same group. To be honest with you, the way I see it, I mean,
I think he's going to the. I think he's going to the Saints or the Jets. Carr. If I had to be honest,
they'll end up with the Jets because that's a Jets move. That's what they do. They sign.
Yeah.
They sign quarterback. That's what they do. That's what they do, man. It's just a Jets move, man. It just feels like
Jets are a disease. Don't do it. I'm sure. That's what
move,
it says.
That move, honestly, though, that move is the only. If they can't get Jackson, I mean, that's the only move. It's a Jets move, but that's the only sensible move because then you're left with White and Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you're not going anywhere with that.
Tannehill. I mean, do they go after
Tannehill? Who's better, Tannehill or Carr? If
they can't get Carr, God forbid, goes to the Saints and Rodgers stays with Green Bay, and if Baltimore ends up keeping, it's going to have to be Tannehill, or it could be Garoppolo. Salah connect to Garoppolo.
I'd probably go Garoppolo over Tannehill.
Yeah. That's actually not a bad suggestion on normal guy. Caleb Williams.
Saints. I think they in tank mode for real.
Yeah,
they'll probably get rid of. They'll probably get rid of a lot of their players.
Yeah, they're already a miserable salary cap overall, and the fact of the matter is, normal guy just said they're trying to rework a contract with Tyrann Mathieu to try to reduce his cap hit because they're so over the cap right now and they're going nowhere. Especially with Jameis Winston as their quarterback. I mean, I agree with you. They definitely needs to do what's best for them, and that's tank. Go into the season. Maybe try to. I mean, obviously they're not going to tank purposely, but it's probably going to be ugly for them. And then see if you can go out there and get Caleb Williams in 2023 or 2024. So
yeah, I get it. It's
I don't like it, Coach, but that's what some NFL teams do.
I get it. I understand the thought. I understand where it comes from. It's just when I hear that word "just tank," it's like first of all, the thing is when we as fans think that and say that, you fail to realize that there are players that are out there on the roster that they're not going to do that because then that means they're going to be out of a job.
Right.
Because think about, you got to think about the middle part of that roster to the back end. Those guys are fringe players. You think they're really going to tank just to help No, they want to put the best product out on film that even if this team doesn't sign them, somebody
I got to run. I'm a pop back in later.
All right, have a good meeting.
Have a good meeting, man. So I mean, I get it. I understand where people, and it's a fun, fantasy to go with. But the reality is just like think about your job. Your boss going to come in and he wants to sell off his bit. He doesn't want you to do bad. He wants you to do well because he's going to make the most money. Yeah, the new boss might come in and get rid of people, but you want to make sure that you're doing well, so you're one of the ones that is kept. So it's funny when I hear that. Just tank. I get it. I understand. It's just
how professional athletes to tank.
Yeah, it's and as a coach, it's just I can't think like that. Because to me that means you're saying I'm going to lose. And
Exactly.
what's the famous saying by her on her one
You
her day?
play to win the
To win
game.
the game. Exactly. I don't compete to lose. I compete to win. And I get it, but that's
They
that's
are
that's a
who we
fair.
thought they were. Who the hell want the hook? Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
the great
So
Dennis
it's
Green. Hmm.
yes. So it's but again, I get it. I get it. Those who think like that and they want their team to tank, I get it. And in a sense, that's a lot of these content creators out here who want DJ going and they want to prepare for next year and man, that all I can say, if I was your head coach and y'all were fans screaming tank, 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 yo, fire my ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just fire me because I'm here to win. I'm not here to lose. I just
And a
can't.
player
I can't.
too. And coach a player
Yeah.
too that's looking to try to maybe get themselves a secure contract, or maybe he's looking to try to see if he can get a big payday. And he's told, oh, by the way, we're not planning on winning this year. We're probably looking to tank so we can get a high draft pick and try to get this top end
hmm
quarterback. How do you think a player is going to take that? Hearing that, players, coaches, a
Trade
coach,
my.
uh, a,
Go ahead, Jeff.
a coach that is coaching for his job, and he hears the word tank. Go ahead, coach.
No, you're right, bro. You said it perfectly. It's a coach is not going to tank just because his job is on the line. And then
Mm-hmm.
what does that tell the other teams in the league? You're not willing to compete to win. You're not willing to fight.
Ownership.
You're not willing to argue with ownership. No, bro, I'm not here to lose. You want to lose, then get rid of my ass. Get rid of me. I mean,
Yeah.
as players, I mean, you're in the NFL. Most of them are not there for long. NFL. Yeah, you have your top end, but your top end is probably what, 15, 20%. They're going to have a long, successful career. On the
Mm-hmm.
back end, guys, think about it. How many guys are there 3 years and they're out the league, 4 years and they're out the league? Look, they're playing in the XFL or the USFL, or going up into Canada, or when I was at semi-pro minor league, semi-pro football, how many guys that were in training camps that I've coached? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, seriously, there are a lot. You're not in the league for long, so to to think you're going to tank to help the team get a better draft pick? Nah, now, unless nah, I just can't. You can't even pay me enough. I don't care if you want to pay me $100 million. I'm not losing. I just can't. That's my ego. That's my ego. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't.
To me, that's
Man,
disrespect. To me, that's disrespecting your
exactly.
coaches and that's disrespecting your players. I understand owners and for owners, fans don't, fans, obviously some fans would rather tank because they'd rather get the high
Mm-hmm,
draft pick.
mm-hmm,
And that's the
mm-hmm,
crazy, see, that's the thing that I don't understand that really makes me nuts. So you're willing to tank for a player that has potential to be the
mm-hmm,
next big player, but you don't know if he will be the next big player. You are willing to tank for potential, not a known commodity. That's what
mm-hmm,
makes me nuts about the whole
mm-hmm,
situation. I want to win as a fan and even as a content creator. I want to
mm-hmm,
win. I am not going
mm-hmm.
into this because of a stupid draft pick. And when I was younger, when I was not as immature about that kind of stuff, yes, I would have rather at some point wanted the pick. But now I want to win. I don't care about a stupid draft pick because you could get a draft pick that maybe isn't on the same level of what you're looking for, but he could end up being a better player than the pick that you were trying to go after at the top. You don't know. The NFL draft
Uh,
is more just.
uh,
Go ahead, coach.
no, think about the old Washington Redskins when they drafted
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins and Robert Griffin the third. Yeah, Robert Griffin was dynamic and everything, but what ended up
Mm-hmm.
happening? He got hurt, and
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins ended up taking over. And what happened to Robert Griffin
Exactly.
Jr.? I mean,
Exactly.
it's a crapshoot. So if anything, I'm playing to win, baby. I'm playing to win.
Exactly.
Uh, tanking is just losing, and it's not in my mindset as a coach, as a former player. It's just not. Yeah, you're going to lose. I don't like losing. There's certain things that I do that, what, to get over losing, but I'm not
Hmm.
going in with the mindset before the game. Yeah, I'm just mm-mm, 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 no.
It's like you're giving up before the game even starts. Like, you know what? Oh, well, we're not planning on winning this game. We're trying to get a high draft pick after the season. So we're gonna go out there, maybe give it our half best effort, and then we're just gonna let you guys. We'll find a way to scale it back a little bit so you guys win. No. And you know what? The one thing I like about what the NBA did, obviously, it would never happen in the NFL, but I like the fact the NBA included a lottery. I like it because it stops tanking. Because just because you're the worst team in NBA doesn't guarantee, and coach, you and I know our teams have had this
Hmm.
affected by us with the number one pick. Just because you are the worst team in the NBA does not guarantee you get the number one pick. You could end up getting the third, fourth, fifth, whatever the lottery has you deciding it happened. It happened with you, with the whole Zion Williamson and John Morant.
Exactly.
It happened with me with John Wall. You don't know, and I like that about the NBA, but you'll never get that in the NFL because the Players Association and especially the NFL will never agree to that. That's one of the
Yeah,
problems and
no.
why tanking will always exist in the NFL because of that.
It's
Unless your team is
it
that bad.
all I gotta say, tanking doesn't exist in the NFL. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Case in point, look what happened to the Miami Dolphins. It doesn't. You will try it, and every coach, every look, seriously, think about it. The Miami Dolphins are the prime example. You had the head coach who was like, with the owner, like, hell no, I'm not doing that. Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tank? No. Coaches know in the NFL. Seriously, they do know. You do that, and you will lose every opportunity to get another job, even if you lose your current job. You at least want to be able to compete and go for a championship. I just other sports I can't speak to because I
Mm-hmm.
don't follow it that intently in terms of tanking, but nah, I can't. It doesn't process in my head. It just doesn't. That as a coach, as players, yeah, the ownership may want that. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I get it. Ownership, maybe even some GMs, whatever, they may want that. Okay, cool. I get it. But when you're out there working, sacrificing blood, sweat, tears, nah, you're not out there doing all that just so the team and to go out and lose. Players, you putting your body on the line, risking injury. Short, your career could be short to help a team
Great
get a
point,
better
Nomez.
draft. Nah, man, nah.
Oh, by the way, there's before we continue, there's apparently some news that just came out surrounding Derek Carr. ESPN's Diana Rossini has reported. Now, take this with a grain of salt. Derek
Damn,
Carr is
see.
seeking around 35 mil per year in his next contract. Derek Carr
Yeah,
seeking
makes
35
sense.
mil per year.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I could see that he was getting 40. Maybe he cut
Mm-hmm.
it off 5. He's looking at the market. Remember what I always say. Look at the quarterback market. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins. What is he getting? 35. I mean,
Around 30,
Jared Goff
probably
is
close to
Jared.
40, I think.
Yeah, Jared Goff is around 40, 30
Mm-hmm.
something to 40. I mean, come on. I could see him asking for 35. Yeah, it makes sense. So now, does a team like the Jets have that kind of money? I don't know.
I
But
think they're a little bit close to the cap right now. They still have to make some cuts in the next week or so. Because I think they're pretty close. I think they're closer to the cap with all the moves they made the past off season. So, yeah, they got to do some restructures. They obviously have to sign Quinn Williams to an extension too. Like we have to sign Dex to an extension. They have to sign Quinn and Williams to an extension. So I'm sure that's one of the things that'll be on their plate too. Some of the other news that's happened is the Jaguars have officially signed quarterback C.J. Beathard to a 2-year contract extension. So Beathard is going to be competing for looks like he's going to be the backup quarterback to Trevor Lawrence next year for the Jags. And NFL Network's Tom Pelissero is reporting that the Saints are closing in on a multi-year contract extension with defensive end, I apologize if I butcher his name, Tano Kapasang Nunn. He signed with the Saints 2 years ago and was set to become a free agent in the spring. He had 6 sacks and as many tackles for loss in 23 appearances with the team. The Saints have had numerous defensive linemen with expiring contracts this offseason. Bringing back Kapasang Nunn gives them some flexibility with the 2 are forced to let walk. So that's a little bit of NFL news that broke.
If this is true according to Over the Cap, the Jets are over the cap limit. It says cap space is 200. They're over 264,487, and even an effective. I gotta figure what the hell is effective cap space. I never heard of that.
No, I have no idea.
Effective, and I think they have 54 players signed so far. So, but if they're effective, they're over $4 million. So, as opposed to the Giants are at 46,873,000. And their effective is at 43. So,
You have to wonder what the moves they're going to make.
Jets couldn't. If Carr's asking that, they're not going to be able to afford that. No. You know what? Looking at that now, they can't even get Lamar.
Well, it depends on the moves they make. It depends on the moves they make to try to see if they can free up some of that money. And also, if they sign Quentin Williams to an extension, that might lower his cap hit a little bit. If you spread that money out and they try to think about backloading his contract more or putting it towards the middle, that can free up some more cap space too.
That's a lot of cap space you have to work with. Even if you're 400,000 over, let's just say you go after Lamar. Lamar's going to want 45 to 50 mil. So you got to create that money right there alone. All right, David Carr wants 35. You got to create that cap space alone. And then on top of that, you have to have money for your draft picks and then money to work going into next year too. Because they're drafting higher than the Giants. So their money that they have to hold for their draft picks are definitely going to be higher than the Giants. So wow, I did not realize the Jets were in over the cap that much. Wow.
Yeah, they signed a lot of free agents the past off seasons, so I'm not really surprised that their cap hit is that big or is that close to like around the cap. I mean, they're going to make some cuts. I mean, Corey Davis will probably be cut. Carl Lawson will probably be cut. I could see C.J. Mosley getting cut. I could see Whitehead getting cut. So they're going to free up a good amount of money just with cuts with those players. I don't know what the how much money they'll be saving depending on where they cut them. I don't know if some of these guys would save them more money if they designate them a post-June cut, like we're probably going to do with Kenny Golladay. But either way, like they're going to get money available. It's just like, what other moves do they have to make to free up some more cap space if they want to go after a Carr, or if they want to go after a Lamar, or if they want to go after still an Aaron Rodgers, or even a Jimmy G or a Tannehill. So it's like they have to, like, this is what Joe Douglas gets paid the big bucks to do. He's going to have to go out there and find a way to maneuver the cap and get enough money available for his team to go out there and make some moves to improve his team, because their offensive line needs help too. They need to improve their offensive line. It's a mitigating disaster right now. So the Jets have their work to do, but Joe Douglas, he did a terrific job in the draft with the way he did last year and the past couple of drafts. Let's see what he can do and how he's going to work his magic in free agency to free up some more cap space for his team to operate and get some more players. That's just my opinion about that. I heard the Falcons have a lot of money available too. The Bears are going to have a dumpster amount of cap space available for them this offseason. The Bears, I would not be shocked I actually would not be shocked if the Bears become a pretty decent team next year. I could. They draft right and sign the right players. I think the Bears can do a quick turnaround in 2023, especially if I believe, which we believe, Justin Fields will be the quarterback in 2023. So I think the Bears can be one of those teams. If they play it right and they do it right, they can turn it around very quick.
The Bears are in that position. They're in a very good position in their whole rebuild process. And it wouldn't surprise me if, like you said, in a couple of years, they're contending for the NFC North. So, I mean, in a sense, they're better than us, but the process is going to be the same as us because we, as long as we continue to draft well, no matter what happens, you sign Daniel Jones, you don't. I still think that we'll be in good position within the next 2 to 3 years that, the division is definitely going to be, we're going to be fighting for the division and probably fighting for a top spot in the NFC conference as a whole. So, that's why I have great faith in Dable. That's why this whole debate over Daniel is, look at the big picture. Who do you think the Bucks? Who
I
do
heard
you
they like
think the
Kyle
Bucks?
Trask. They like Kyle Trask because they drafted out of Florida. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like smokescreen, but apparently they're fans of Kyle Trask. So,
Okay. I mean, how much money do they have in their cap also? So, I mean,
yeah, they got to make some moves too. I mean, what's their salary cap situation right now going into this offseason?
Let's see, the Buccaneers, Titans, Lions, Ravens, Broncos, Commanders, Niners, Eagles, Jets, Chiefs, Cowboys, Panthers, Packers. Damn, they're down there. Wait a minute.
I believe they have a lot of guys signed to 1-year deals.
They're the lowest, $56 million, $56.5 million over the cap.
Over or under?
Under the cap. Sorry, no,
Even more than the
they're
Bears?
over the cap. I thought you said the Bucks. I think you said the Bucks, the Bears. Sorry,
No, I said the
Bears,
Bucks, like the Tampa Bay Bucks.
the
Bears I know are
Bucks
the
are in
lowest.
Yeah, the Bears are at 98 million. They have the money, 98 million to spend. The Bucks have $58.5 million just to get to the cap line.
So they're
Just to
over
get to the
58
cap.
mil.
Yes, they're over 56 mil.
Because they
They're the
signed all those
lowest.
guys. They signed everybody back
Yes.
that after they won the Super Bowl, and they signed Godwin to an extension. They signed Devontae David to an extension. They signed Devin White to an extension. They signed Mike Evans to an extension. They signed Carlton Davis to an extension. I mean, they have all of these guys on a big money deal.
That's why Trask is going, and that's why Trask is going to be their quarterback. Then it makes sense.
Unless they find a cheap veteran that's willing to come in on a smaller deal. Yeah, it makes sense why Tampa Bay would go that range. They don't have the money right now to afford to go out and get a veteran quarterback. Exactly.
Yeah,
another
that's
reason
another
why
reason
Brady
why.
retired.
Yep.
Good point. He knows Tampa Bay could go on a free fall in the NFC North. So I mean, we really don't know what's going to happen with Tampa Bay going into the 2023 season. I mean, is Trask ready? I don't think Kyle Trask is going to light up the world, but you never know. I mean, depending on who's their offensive coordinator over there in Tampa Bay? I know it's obviously not Leftwich anymore.
Let me pull it up. Let me see.
So they didn't hire one yet.
I think they did.
I think the quarterback going to the Raiders. If Rodgers isn't staying in Green Bay, I think he's going to the Raiders. That's how I've always felt. If Rodgers doesn't stay in Green Bay, I've always thought his number one destination is the Raiders. But if it's not that,
Dave Canales.
Is he with the system?
I don't know. It says the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have fired Dave Canales as their offense coordinator in 2023.
Wait, was he a college coach? I think he might have been a college coach. They might have hired from Auburn or something. I don't know if I read about it. Dave Canales.
Was introduced to me to win. I'm looking at their site. It still don't give me a lot. I'll have to research who he is. Hold on. Copy. Dave Canales. Paste.
No problem, Greg. Anytime, bro. They could always go with Jarrett Stidham as the quarterback if they think he's got potential. Hey, look who's here. Mr. Earl Cole has arrived. What's up, Coach?
He was an assistant coach with the Seahawks from 2010 to 2022.
Okay. So he has NFL coaching experience, at least.
Yeah, he has college in the NFL. He was a receivers coach, quarterback coach, passing game coordinator, quarterback coach last year with the Seahawks. So yeah, he's their new OC. So
okay. I mean, it's a shot in the dark. Maybe this guy's good at developing young quarterbacks, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, unless Jimmy G is willing to take a short-term deal or Ryan Tannehill, I think Tampa Bay is going to be a team in transition. I could see a lot of those veterans potentially being traded off that team too. I mean, do you really need 2 wide receivers being paid top dollar? Do you need two linebackers being paid top dollar? Offensive lineman, a left tackle that was hurt all last year. Does he need to get paid top dollar? A running back who's getting up there in age, you need to pay him top dollar.
Yeah, Fournette's probably going. Good point. Yeah, they're going to have to make a lot of cuts.
The left tackle, Donovan Smith, I think could be gone. I could see one of Evans or Godwin gone. I mean, I could see Levante David gone. I see a lot of people that could be gone after this year. But Earl, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. I was a little bit under the weather this morning, so I had to take the day off from work. But everything is fine. The reason why I popped on is I have a question for you, Jeffrey.
Shoot.
Are you free next Thursday night?
What time?
7:30.
I think I might be. I have a little bit of a window because I believe I'm doing the basketball game at 9:55 at night. So I think I might be available for like the little window in between, like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay, because I'm looking for a guest for the wrestling experience.
Okay.
And we're going to be discussing AEW Dynamite, and we're going to be predicting Revolution.
Okay.
So I'm looking for a good guest, and you are the good guest.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so therefore, I'm going to make the stream up as soon as I get off here, and then I will put it on your channel. I've already set up 3 different streams for wrestling for myself. The Raw Watch Along is now available. Revolution is already up and running. And of course, I have Mitch Kofsky returning to the wrestling experience on March 16th. So those 3 streams are already set. Now I just need to set up my show for next Thursday. And since you said yes, then I will then tweet out and I will make the announcement that you will be coming back on the wrestling experience.
So. I appreciate that. I'll try. I mean, I'm going to fit it in between that tight schedule that I have. Like, I'm going to have to – I probably can do it until like around 9:35, 9:40, and then I got to get ready for my other stream right after. But, yeah, I should be able to do it for like an hour, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think the show's gonna last that long because we have Revolution at first. We're gonna do Dynamite, wrap up Dynamite, and then we're gonna go into Revolution, and then that's it.
Just do whatever you need to do. I'll be happy to hop on and talk some wrestling with you on that day. And obviously, I saw the stream that was set up for Revolution on Sunday, as well as Monday Night Raw this coming Monday. So I got all the notifications and everything ready for those 2 upcoming shows.
Excellent. We're going to have fun Monday night, and we're going to have fun next Sunday night for Revolution. It's going to be a good time by all.
Absolutely.
But I did not want to interfere with your streaming.
You're not interfering. If you want to talk football too, you're more than welcome. You're always welcome on the show. If you want to talk football and talk about anything NFL, you're more than welcome.
Well, yeah, I do have a question.
Sure.
I do have a question. Is there any new weapons that the Giants will bring to the table next season? Are they going to strengthen up what they already have, or are they going to go with the same players that they had before?
Coach, you want to go first?
It's going to be a little bit of combination, though. I mean, the first thing is DJ and Saquon. You know, if we bring back Saquon Barkley, that's going to be a valuable weapon, especially in the running game. You already brought back Isaiah Hodgins. Did I say his name? Hodgins?
Isaiah Hodgins.
Yeah, Hodgins. Now in
It's a
the
tricky one, I
draft,
know.
yeah, in the draft, it's a multitude. There are different things that they can do. Do I think they're going to draft a wide receiver? Yes. Where it varies. I mean, for example, I played around with some mocks, thinking about what the free agency is going to be, and then playing around off of that. I've drafted a receiver in the first round. I've drafted receivers, my first receiver in the fourth round. So, but I do think the Giants are going to draft a receiver more likely in the second to the third round, somewhere in that range. And they're going to be a key contributor to the offense. You still have Wan'Dale Robinson coming back. Hopefully, he'll continue to improve. Um, there are starting to be free agents, wide receivers. Do they kick the can? How much money? I mean, they had whatchamacallit down in Tennessee who was released. Who's
Robert
the other
Woods,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, Robert Woods.
Mhm.
It was another one who was just released. I forgot who it is. I'm trying to remember.
A wide receiver?
Yeah.
The only one I saw was because Tennessee's been the one team that's been releasing players lately. Was it Jarvis
Yeah.
Landry?
No, it wasn't Jarvis Landry. I can't remember, but yeah, there's still receivers that Oh no, it was I was thinking about Juju. He's already a free agent. That's what it was. It was
I would like
Juju.
Juju. I would love Juju on the team.
So
I think
you
Juju
know,
would be an excellent addition.
to answer your question, Earl, are they going to add pieces? Yes. Some of the returning ones, yes, but I do think that they're going to add, some key pieces. Oh, and I did do a mock draft where I drafted a tight end.
Yeah.
I did go over some tight ends, and there are some good ones. And it's not just Mike Mayer from Notre Dame. There are some good tight ends that you can get later in the draft who can contribute. There's a kid from Old Dominion, 6'8", 255. I think if you develop him, he's definitely going to be a good guy to have, along with what we already have. So, are the Giants going to
Kid
add pieces?
Washington?
Yes. I'm sorry?
Washington out of Georgia? Isn't he a
Yeah,
junior coming
Washington.
out?
Yeah, Washington. He's more the blocking back right now. They need to
Okay.
develop his. They need to develop his receiving. But the good thing about him with his receiving, he's a hand catcher, so he does snag the ball out of the air. He's 6'7", 270 pounds, so he's a big guy. He's very athletic. They've shown several highlights of him literally jumping over a defender. So that's good for a man that size to be able to get up over someone like that. And I'm not talking about guys diving at his leg. I mean literally jumping over them, almost at full height. So but he's probably one you get in the second round, probably early second round. And I don't think the Giants will get him, but again, you have the kid from Oregon State. He's a good one. But again, there's several good tight ends out there. But to add to the offense to help the offense grow. So and also running backs. Earlier we were talking about the kid from Tulane, Bijan Robinson. I don't think we're going to get. You got to run the running back from Texas A&M. And don't forget the big bruising back you can get late in the draft, probably in the 5th to the 7th round, out of Utah. I mean, the kid he's your inside run guy, and he'll move the chains. I mean, he's about 235 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. 6'2" ish, 6'3" ish. So they're good running backs. To add to what we already have. So. And if you bring back Matt Breida, that's another kid who definitely showed me something. And you can definitely there's players that the Giants going to bring back to add to the offense, and I definitely think the offense is going to be improved next year.
And I'm going to answer this question real quickly. I'm going to be dead honest. We all know Sterling Shepard. The dude's coming off 2 years of being severely injured. And it sounds like that he is not ready to retire. I mean, unless it's just something changes this offseason where he's either getting no contract, nobody's interested in him, coming off an ACL tear after coming off an Achilles tear. I believe he's still trying to play in the NFL. I've already thrown out my scenario and why we could bring him back. And because he has no value on the market and you could just stash him on injury reserve and let him get better to 100%, let him stay a Giant. No point in a 30-year-old running wide receiver coming off 2 major injuries. I don't know why he'd want to go out there and test the market at this point in his career. He's better off just staying with the Giants on a reduced deal and trying to see what he can do. But I mean, he's not going to. I don't think he's going to retire yet. I think he still wants to play at least another year or two and see if he can. He doesn't want to go out with an injury like this. He wants to try to continue his career. He's not. He thinks he's not done, and I don't think he's done. It's just been bad luck for him. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with number 3 on the Giants. I'd love to have him back. Still my favorite player on the team. Has been my favorite player on the team for years. But if he ends up going somewhere else, so be it. I'll still root for him either way. I've always been a big fan of Shep.
Wait, is he not going to be on the Giants now?
He's a free agent. They reworked his contract to have a void year in 2023. So he's right now a free agent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he would have been under contract. They still have a dead cap hit of, I believe, $4.3 million. So his contract is going to count on the books. So if they do sign him, it's going to be a totally different deal. So they'd have him on the books for 2 different contracts if they bring him back.
Okay, I did not expect that.
We should definitely draft a running back. It depends on what happens with Barkley. Would I just be surprised? Even if they
we're
bring
going to
back
draft a
Barkley?
running back, I feel like.
I think you guys definitely are. But go ahead, Earl.
So if they honor the contract, and does that mean that he doesn't have to be in the draft, or he doesn't have to go to the draft if they honor the contract?
For who?
What was the gentleman's name you were mentioning before?
Oh, you mean Sterling Shepard? He's been in the
Sterling
league.
Shepard, yeah.
He's been in the league since he's been in the league since 2016. He doesn't have to worry about the draft. He's just worried about his career continuing because he had he tore his Achilles tendon in 2021. Then he came back and he played for at least a couple of weeks, and then he got injured against Dallas in week 3, and he tore his ACL, which he missed the rest of the season. So he's a 30-year-old wide receiver, long-time Giant, longest tenured Giant, coming off 2 major injuries. And Joe Schoen reworked his contract in 2022 to even have him come back to play for the Giants last year. So he's going to have to accept a totally different deal on a very, very low minimum if he wants to be a Giant, which – for him, it actually might not be the worst thing. You stay with the team you've known your whole entire career. It's going to cost nothing against the cap. And he gets a chance to get better and rehabilitate, his knee with the organization he's only known his whole career. So we'll have to wait and see.
But would you label him though damaged goods?
Oh, yeah.
And not play him on the field because aren't you taking a risk?
Oh, he's damaged goods. Go ahead, Coach.
It's a risk with any player.
Yeah.
Just to play the game itself, even if you're fully healthy, the one thing most fans don't realize, if you play the full season, even if you play the full season, you end the season hurt. No matter what, you have bruises, you have bumps, you have things that most fans don't know about. During the course of the season, players are filled with so much painkillers. It's unbelievable, man. I mean, the level of different play, you can either pop it in your mouth, you can have them shoot you up. I mean, realistically, every player, if you play significant minutes, you're hurt. I mean, not hurt. You're hurt. Now, are you injured? That's a different story. So it's a risk no matter what when you go out there on that football field. Because think about it, man. I mean, I'm 350 pounds, 340 pounds. Imagine me running full speed at most of you guys and colliding with you, and you're running the opposite way, and the collision, it's going to hurt. It's just going to hurt. No matter what. Playing football is a risk, period. So
it's like the nature of the beast.
Yes.
I'll make a wrestling analogy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll make the wrestling analogy. It's like Bronson Reed and Otis crashing into each other at like 100 miles per hour. Like that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. And there will
So
be carnage.
yes,
Exactly.
exactly. So
Right.
So you can't blame these guys if they're getting beaten up, banged up, having these injuries when you have like super athletes running into each other at like 20 miles per hour, colliding with each other with such force. You're going to get these banged up, bruised injuries that are going to be happening to these guys because NFL is a physical as hell sport. Exactly. No Met says it right here. No athlete is ever 100%. He's
No,
absolutely
you
100% right.
that's correct. I agree with that assessment.
It's still going to be a T-shirt one day, by the way.
Let me ask another question here.
Absolutely.
Which NFL team or quarterback would you say next season has a lot to improve on and a lot to gain from?
Dak Prescott.
Cool.
Dak Prescott to me. First top of the
Why
list.
did I come back and hear Dak Prescott right away?
To me, that's the first guy. Dallas
It's too many.
Cowboys.
It's too many for me to choose from. Honestly, it really is.
Yeah.
I could go down the list, but I like Dak Prescott. Don't think I don't like it. Yeah, that's a good one.
To me,
I
because
don't.
of the fact Dak Prescott was labeled the savior over there in Dallas, coming off strong seasons, taking his team to the playoffs. And what did he do this past season? He led the NFL in turnovers when it comes to interceptions and turnovers in general. Plus, he had 3 interceptions in that game against Tampa Bay. Dak Prescott is getting paid tons of money to not be an absolute turnover machine right now for the Dallas Cowboys. He needs to rebound and rebound big going into the 2023 season. So for me, Earl, it's Dak Prescott. He needs to have a rebound season going into 2023.
So you think that his season needs to be turned around at this point?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, he does. His team
And
he
look-
underperformed big time.
And let me ask you another question. Let me ask you a follow-up question to that. If he doesn't improve during the season and he keeps doing the turnovers and he deflates the team, do you think that it'd be time then to cut him?
Yes,
Depends
depending on
on-
how.
Depends on his contract. It depends on his contract first. Because,
Right.
for example, I mean, if let's say, for example, his salary hit, if they cut him and they're still stuck with money left on the books, let's just say it's $40 million, you're not going to cut him. You're just not. Because it doesn't make sense. You're just going to try and see if you can work it out and see what you can get. Because to let $40 million sit there off of one player, that's taking a big hit out of what you can do with the rest of your team. So,
What's up, Evan?
it's now again, you'd have to look at his contract and break it down before you say yes, you can cut him, and even if he's playing bad. And I think he's in year 3 of that contract, or is he year 2?
I think it might be year 3. I believe.
I'm pulling it up now. Pulling up over the cap. Dak Prescott. Here we go. His base salary next year is $31 million.
Yeah. I don't think they'd start saving any money. They said there's a potential out in 2024.
Yeah, he has a dead cap right now for next year of $89 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
they could try to cut him, Earl, but if they did that, they'd be in such salary cap hell. They would be screwed for like the next 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So in other words, then you're going to have somebody who could potentially cost you games by throwing football all over the place and interceptions and everything like that. But you're protected because of this cap.
Well, he's protected. He's protected.
Yeah,
by
that's
the cap
what I mean.
Right
Yeah,
now.
he's protected by the cap.
The team would probably think about moving on for him.
I mean, because that could be deflating, to be honest with you.
Evan says it right here. Prescott is making over 40% of the team's cap space next year. Yeah, he's not wrong. He makes almost 50%. Imagine this, Earl. You have a team of 53 players, and your quarterback alone is making close to half that salary cap. Half the cap is going to 1 out of 53 players. Think about that. Think about that one.
I'm hurting. My heart is hurting. My heart is hurting because
I'm not hurting. I think it's funny.
I think it's funny too.
I think it's funny. I think it's great.
my heart is fluttering here because because
This is the guy I feel bad for. He's a Cowboys fan, Arku. I feel bad for him. He's got to deal with that.
I mean that is astonishing.
Yeah.
But that's the business of professional football. Period.
Mhm.
Case
Mhm.
Any
closed. I
sport.
mean,
Any sport.
yeah. I mean, you when you have money, when you have salary, you have your budget. You have to play with it. Who's the most important position? Who's going to get most of that money? Yeah,
Mhm.
it can create dissension among the ranks, but if you go in there, you know it's a business. You know, first and foremost, you shouldn't be worrying about when another man gets in his contract. Screw him. I only wonder about my money. Oh, that's all I
Exactly.
should be caring about. But then, yes, does it take up, and do you have to cut other players because of situations like that? Yeah, happens all the time.
But you
Happens.
know something, it reminds me of like baseball. It's you have a player who gets all this money and then he underwhelms and he
Yes.
underplays and you're sitting there like, why couldn't you take that money and give it to somebody who really wants to play the sport and who can really deliver the goods? And I just sometimes I sit back and I'm
In the
like,
microwave, 5 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I just,
Microwave for 5 minutes.
Sorry.
What do you
I was
mean?
talking my age. No, I was talking my age. She's putting something in the
No.
microwave for me.
What do you mean? What are you having though?
She's making some chicken, some peas, and
mm.
some potatoes.
I just got
I'll
back
be
from
over in
lunch.
5 minutes, Coach. I'll be over in 5 minutes with the wine. Yes, Coach, I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Girl's going to turn that into a stew.
Yes, it's true.
What up? What up, normal guy? What up, bro?
Mm,
No,
no,
I actually have an announcement. I think I told you, Jeff, but I finally got a job.
Yeah, you did mention that before.
Yeah, but
Congratulations.
it was
Coach.
actually official yesterday, so I got it. I'm doing an application now, so it's official. I got it. Thank God.
Oh, and Mitch,
Yep.
Thank you.
congratulations yesterday on your boys whooping up on my boys.
Hey, Michigan's still in the bubble. I'm just letting you know we're still in the bubble. I don't know how.
Rutgers is playing themselves out of the NCAAs right now.
Yeah,
They
I saw the
really
highlights.
are.
Yup.
And that goes to Mawat Mag. We didn't realize how important he was and how critical and vital his defense and what he brings, as a glue guy to that team. And it's spiraling out. I mean, because when you lose to Nebraska by 10 points at home to Nebraska, nah, man. And now you got to go to Penn State, which is going to be tough.
Yeah.
And you close out with Northwest. Rutgers they're going to have to make a run in the Big Ten, and I don't see it.
Yeah. So, Coach,
You guys are going to make it, man. I think you guys will make the NCAA.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's pretty damn close, but have you been scouting out the college basketball players yet?
Not
Like
fully
for the draft or no?
Not as yet. I'm gonna take a peek here or there. I mean, I'm not proficient with it, but I have a general understanding. So
He's
Like,
in the
I just-
NFL mode right now.
Yeah, like I just started that like 2 days ago.
yeah, so
Like college basketball is more my thing instead of college football.
Yeah, see,
I actually have a question for Coach too. When you guys are done, I have a question for Coach related to a player that's coming out. But you guys go ahead.
Football or basketball?
Football.
Damn.
Okay, yeah, no, basketball. I mean, I'd have to dissect it, and I watch more Big Ten film, but
Yeah.
I mean, I got to get back into the ACC. I mean, even though the ACC hasn't been strong this year, and I'll get into it, and I'll start reading up on it. I mean, I'm probably more into the women's college sports than I am the men's. So
Yeah, you told me that. I mean, there's only one like team I kind of follow, and that's the Miami Hurricanes, because I follow these two girls on social media, and their name are
Yeah.
Woo! No, it's not just that. They do basketball content.
Doesn't matter, man. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they do basketball content, but yeah,
Right,
those are like the
right,
only
right,
people. And if
Mitch.
you say Michigan, fine, we beat you
Work the
there.
room,
Uh,
Mitch. Work the room.
Mitch, you know the deal. If then two girls called you, be like, yo, let's hook up, bro. Don't tell me you ain't
Wait,
going.
the Suns are wait, what? The Suns are targeting Derrick Rose on the buyout market?
Oh,
Oh, the Knicks are buying him out?
What?
Why would they do that?
It was reported by Chris Hayes.
oh.
I've not heard anything about the Knicks buying out Derrick Rose right now. I mean, no disrespect, he deserves it. He should have been, you know, he deserves to be
Oh
bought
yeah,
out and
he's
let
right.
him go. Let him go wherever he wants to go. So hey, if he can go to Phoenix, bro, more power to you, D Rose. You deserve it. Go chase that ring, bro, because it ain't happening in New York right now. I know we're playing well, but you ain't winning the ring with the Knicks right now.
If he gets a ring, right? If Derrick Rose gets a ring, is he a Hall of Famer after that?
I think he just misses out. I think he just comes up short.
It's debatable.
Yeah, it's debatable because he's had those injuries, and you know once he left Chicago. Really, where was he really dynamic and really that man? And he was it. He was just a role player. Even Cleveland,
In Chicago, for the Bulls, before he got injured, he was like the guy. He was the youngest guy to win
He's an
MVP.
MVP. Yeah.
He was the youngest guy to win MVP. So it's just like it's no matter which way you look at it, it's like he hopped from team to team to team to team.
But it's
then-
the injuries that hurt him more than
Correct.
anything from me.
Correct. Yes.
If it wasn't for the injuries, then even if he's going from team to team to team, if he's being that key contributor, D Rose is the Hall of Famer. But the injuries, I think, derailed him more than anything.
Yeah.
It's the ACL in the one knee, and I think it was a meniscus in the other that really messed him up.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
believe. So he injured.
That
He
was-
pretty much screwed up both knees in a year span.
When Derrick Rose tore that ACL, he was the Bulls were against our Sixers, my Sixers. We were like the 8th seed to their 1, and we beat them in like 5 games, and then we lost to the Celtics in 5. So it's just like, yeah, that was the year it happened. I remember that day. It was like yesterday. I was like, oh my God, what the hell?
The luck of the draw sometimes. Sometimes you just have that unlucky break, and unfortunately for Derrick Rose during those couple of years, that was his unlucky break. He ACL tear in one knee. The year after, he tears his meniscus, and he was just never the same after that. He literally just bounced around all over the place.
Well,
I
I
think he was
will
on the
say
T-Balls
this.
too.
Yeah, I will say this though. I think it's Tom Thibodeau that really derailed his career, led to the injuries because of the extensive use. I
Yes.
really believe that.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think Tib just has that where he wears you out. And but what's your question, Jeff? You said you had a
Yeah,
question.
you had a question. I'm actually
Well,
curious about it now.
Just talking, we've been talking. I know we're like, we were talking about the NBA, but the NFL draft obviously coming around the range, and obviously the top quarterbacks everybody's talking about: C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, and Bryce Young. I found this very interesting coming from Jeremy Fowler. He says that draft grades are ranging for Anthony Richardson around the first round, where I'm even hearing rumors he could be a number 1 pick somehow. Call me, I don't know how.
I heard that.
I saw that.
To all the way to the 4th round. What do you think about
Mhm.
that, Coach?
How is that possible?
It is
I'm here-
possible
I'm
because
curious how Coach is going to feel about this.
because no one really. All right, if you look at
Say
his
it away.
talent, he has the talent. Don't get me wrong, he has talent. But number one, he's not consistent with his passing game. He's still developing. How well does he read? Is it still going to take time to develop? So it's a catch-22 with him. And then you think about, could he be? I don't want to put this kid in this mold, but could he end up being, if he's drafted high in the draft pick, and could he become a Jamarcus Russell? I mean, Russell had the tools coming out, but
So did Menzel.
yeah, Johnny Manziel's another one. So
Yeah.
you see the athleticism. Don't get me wrong, that kid is dynamic. I mean, I really like his game, but number one, it's the system that he's in and the coaches. Does he get the right type of coaching to develop his game and bring it out? Or are you going to get coaches that are just going to throw him out there and try and do whatever, whatever, try and get him just the basic vanilla stuff to go out there and hopefully win games? He needs coaching. He
Yeah.
really does. I mean,
He needs the
but
right system too.
yeah, but if you can pull that talent out, to me, if his talent is truly developed, he foresee he exceeds all the other quarterbacks in this draft
Yeah.
just based on talent alone. The reason why one of the reasons why Young is is probably the best quarterback is because of his intelligence. Now imagine if you could take Young's intelligence and put it with Richardson's talent. You'd have the perfect quarterback.
Yeah.
You really would, because then it's something that's scary. But I mean, I do understand why he's in the go into the fourth round, because you just don't know. And
I think a lot of it's got to do with his combine and how he does in the individual workouts too.
Yep. And the interviews. The biggest thing is going to be the interviews, because if he interviews well and teams fall in love with him, then you know what? He's going in the first. I think he's going in the first round. I think, during his private workouts and, to the combine, I think, once they see his arm strength, see him moving around, are they going to fall in love with him, i.e., Mr. Wilson with the Jets? Or, is his talent going to, take it to another level, and, he shows the intellect and the maturation and the ability to go out there and play the game. So
same thing happened to Malik Willis, expected to go in the first, got drafted in the third.
It's just a luck of the draw when it comes to the draft.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to say this. Is Randy showing here? Because I don't want to bring up Brady. Like, he was the 199th, and then he, potentially, yeah.
But look, honestly, look at Brady when he was coming in. First of all, look at you. We've all seen the pictures. He did not look like a football player. Anthony Richardson.
No, he did not. No.
Put him in shorts. Anthony Richardson looks like a football player. He looks like he looks like he could play tight end or linebacker or defensive end also. So but Brady did not look it. So that's difficult. But as far as Hendon Hooker, I mean, I know there's the debate about him. I mean, I like Hendon Hooker. I know there are others who have said they don't think he's a good quarterback. And the question, because of his age, he's 25 years old or will be 25. But I get it. But there was another quarterback who came out who was actually older than him, who had he had a all right career in the NFL.
Brandon Weeden.
Now I forgot about him. I was talking about Chris Winkie from Florida State.
Oh, him too. Yeah, that's another one. I didn't even think about Chris Winkie.
He was 28 when he came out. Remember? And
same thing with Brandon Weeden.
Brandon Weeden, yeah. So I mean, Hendon Hooker to me is, and especially because of his injury, you can take him in the fifth round. You can take him in the fifth round and see what you get. I'm not saying he had first round talent if he didn't get hurt. I mean, I watch his film. I see what he can do. I understand the system. The system, did get guys open. And the hardest thing sometimes for a quarterback is to hit a guy who was wide open. How many times have we seen a guy who's wide open and the quarterback sails the ball on him?
Too many times.
Exactly. And this guy was putting it on them while they were wide open. So, that's a good thing. So, I mean, he's still young enough that you can develop him. And you know what? If you're a quarterback needy team, maybe you find luck in the bottle, and there you go. In 2 years, there you go. You got the quarterback. So
I have him around like that I think he's going to be in around the second round. I could see him depending on how he tests. Richardson. I think he's around like the early second round. I think he's going to go. But if he tests really well, you never know. I mean, Wasn't Trayvon Walker at one point supposed to be a second-round pick at one point?
Mhm.
And then he
Mhm.
shot all the way up to number 1 because of how he did in the combine, his individual,
Mhm.
workouts, and how he graded in terms of like his answers he did, IQ
Mhm.
tests. So you never know with a guy. He could maybe he does really bad, and it could end up causing him to plummet all the way down to the 4th round. So I mean, a lot of people look at what players do, whether it's silly or not, whatever you think about the combine. A lot of scout evaluators, draft evaluators, general managers, scouts, everything, they look at what you do in the combine as a big time indication on where they think your overall value is. And it doesn't have to just be athleticism. It could be about scheme fit. It could be about, what how you are on the field, what your strengths are, how your athletic abilities and how like your frame and everything translate to the NFL. A lot of it could be mixed with that speed. Another one, good. Thank you, Earl. Your quickness off the line. How quick you are off the line if you're a defensive lineman. How quick you react if you're an offensive lineman. Your route running if you're a wide receiver. How well you can move side to side if you're a cornerback. Quarterback especially. Your your coordination with your eye. So we'll have to wait and see. Either way. The stamina, that too. IQ. A lot of people look at the IQ of the player too. Like, how your IQ is going to translate, how you pick things up going into the NFL compared to what you were doing in college football. The game's a lot faster in the NFL than it is in the college football ranks. I did hear about that, Miz. We actually talked about it a little bit before. Well, I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it is. I wouldn't be shocked if it is.
You know what? I'm glad someone brought up Derek Carr because I was on the phone yesterday with a very good friend of mine who's a diehard Jets fan, and he wants Derek Carr over Rodgers.
That's not that crazy.
No, it's because like this whole thing with like the cave he's in now and like stuff like that for Rodgers. He's like all that. He's like, no, just give me Carr and we go from there.
I said, and Jeff knows, I've said it all week. I'm going after Lamar Jackson before all of them. If I'm the Jets, I'm seeing if they can't work out something, now if your owner Woody Johnson said he would give up what he said he would give up 2 first rounds for Rodgers before.
I think so. I think it's around there. Yeah,
it was around like 2 first round picks. Yes.
So if whatchamacallit says I want 3 first round draft picks for Lamar, would you do it? I would do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, you have to finagle some things on your salary cap. Don't get me wrong. But I'm doing that. I'm giving them 3 first round draft picks for Lamar. With the
you know what? After thinking about it, yeah, I probably would too.
With the talent that they already have, he even helps your offensive line just by his mobility.
You're right. I would actually. I was thinking about it too. 3 first round picks, but yeah, I would probably do it too.
Yeah, because
for established quarterback like Lamar Jackson, absolutely.
If you get him and put him on that team, he changes the dynamic, and that team becomes a division contender, and probably one of the top teams in the AFC. And you're drafting low anyway, so.
It's an interesting question by the Miz. There's a poll on WFAN. Would you do Jones in a first for Lamar?
The Giants?
Daniel Jones and a first round pick for Lamar Jackson.
Honestly, if I were you guys, I would not.
Do I have Saquon Barkley? Do I have Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, that's a good point. If Saquon Barkley is not part of the picture, then no. No.
Yeah. If I have Saquon on that offense, and I'm only giving up Daniel Jones and a first round draft pick.
That's a good point too. Why wouldn't you trade him out of the AFC? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Earl. What were you saying?
No. I don't think I would take that risk. I don't know.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson is just another level. It's just that dynamic. I mean, just his running ability alone scares defenses.
Yes.
It just scares defenses. So Now, like I said, do you have Saquon, and do you sign a certain free agent receiver or two? And yeah, but if I'm only giving up Daniel Jones and one first round draft pick, that's hard for me not to sit here and say yes to. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's hard for me not to. It, you're talking about Lamar Jackson, Lamar Jackson,
Well,
and
some
I
people
love
are going to
Daniel
look at
Jones.
Lamar. Some people are going to look at Lamar Jackson and think, is he going to be healthy? He's been hurt a lot the last couple of years.
Okay, you said the same thing about Daniel Jones too. Prior to that, Daniel Jones was hurt. Prior to that, also.
Well, I'm not even including Daniel Jones in the equation. I'm actually thinking about the Jets too. Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson has been injured the last couple of years, and our NFL team's starting to figure him out a little bit. His ability. I know he's just explosive as hell. Not a lot of people can do what Lamar Jackson could do, but our team's starting to figure him out a little bit now in terms of the way he plays offense.
On the Jets, if he was on the Jets, did he have weapons like that with the Jets that he would have with the Jets with Baltimore?
No, he
Honestly,
only had Mark Andrews. He only had Mark Andrews as his only
exactly.
legit threat.
And when the running backs were healthy, okay, you had a couple of good running backs, but he never had the receivers that he would have with the Jets. And
It's
that's the
true.
thing. If you give him receivers that stretch the field and his running ability, and
Mhm.
receivers that can get open, plus a tight end and still good running game. Wow, that's why with the Jets,
That's a good point.
but if the
Can't
Giants
refute
can
that.
exactly, you draft another receiver in the second round. I mean, I'm not arguing with that. With the Giants, yeah, I said earlier you can get receivers in this draft. There are receivers, so I mean, that's why if I'm only giving up, if I said 3 first rounds with the Jacks, and I'm only saying Daniel Jones in the first round with right now, mm, it's hard for me not to. It's hard for me. It's hard for me not to take take Lamar, and I still have Barkley. Mm,
I mean, yeah, if you really think, then I mean, if you think about that, if you can do all what Miz just said, then yeah, I mean, of course, anybody would be foolish not to take that. Do I think it's ever going to happen? Absolutely not. Daniel Jones is the
oh,
quarterback, whether people like it or not.
yes,
So
yes,
I mean, you're
yes,
going to have to
yes.
learn to deal with it. So Barkley, we'll see. Uh, Giants would gladly. Oh, by the way, there was another NFL transaction that just happened. The Lions have officially released defensive tackle Michael Brockers. So Brockers will be
Mm,
on the free agent market. The move saves at least $10 million against the cap for Detroit while incurring at least a $4 million cap hit. A former first-round pick, Brockers has spent all 9 years of his career with the Rams before being traded to the Lions in 2021, where he appeared in 16 games during the first season with Detroit, was made a healthy scratch for most of the 2022 season. He's a strong locker room presence with over a decade of experience. Brockers should be able to land a 1-year deal on the open market. Talk about defensive tackle depth, coach. What do you think about Michael Brockers?
Would he be a good piece for the Giants?
mm.
I don't know how much he has left. That's the thing. I don't know how much he has left in terms of his overall play. That's a tricky one. Lamar needs Debo. Lamar under Debo would be next level offense. Good luck trying to figure that out. And Kafka. Don't forget about Kafka too. That is a good point. I mean, I like Lamar. I'm not like, a huge Lamar Jackson fan as
I
others
was that.
are, but he is a great quarterback. Take as much time as you need, Earl. He's I think he's a very good quarterback. I mean, I think some people overrate Lamar Jackson in terms of his overall ability, but I mean, would he be a difference maker on the Giants? Yeah, absolutely. Packers need to trade Rodgers and get assets back. I think they might end up keeping him. I think they're going to keep Rodgers. Now there's reports going around. Now there's reports going around that Rodgers might be going back to the Packers. So that whole situation about Aaron Rodgers potentially being traded, it sounds like that there might be a little bit of pushback now, and that Rodgers is thinking about remaining with the Packers going into 2023. So we'll have to wait and see.
It's
There's going to be a
so
lot of
crazy
news
with
floating
Rodgers.
around.
It's so crazy with Rodgers right now.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't know what the hell he wants. He wants one thing one day, and then he wants something else the next day. Rodgers is all over the place with like everything he wants. It's ridiculous. What's up, Raph?
Hey, it's kind of like me. I don't want Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, when I just come to I just figured it out. When it comes to NEW and Orange Cassidy, I'm gonna put my plan to put on T-shirt like said, I am part of the Orange Cassidy Haters Club, and I'm gonna buy one T-shirt for Earl, for Mitch, and I don't know, Jeff, if you like the idea for putting a
I
T-shirt.
like Orange Cassidy, so
There's three against one. There's three against one. There's
No, Earl likes Orange Cassidy. He does.
Earl likes Orange Cassidy too. Coach doesn't give a damn.
Okay.
Coach doesn't give it two shits.
Yep.
No, but Raph, since
What?
you're here, Mr.
What are you
Raphael,
talking about?
we're
Cassidy,
talking about a
wrestler.
wrestler named Orange Cassidy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about some orange
I mean,
chicken or something.
No. You ain't saying anything bad about Orange Chicken. Orange Chicken's good shit.
I like orange chicken.
Oh, it's like an
Mhm.
Asian food. I like orange chicken. I remember the
Mhm.
last time that I was cooking like rice and of course orange chicken. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
And get
So
the
I
right
just-
female.
All right.
Get the right female with that too. It'll be a great event.
I agree. No mess, no nets, no jets. I do agree. He wants attention. Aaron Rodgers always needs his attention. It makes him happy.
Doesn't every quarterback in the NFL want his attention?
Not like Aaron Rodgers.
Happy,
Okay.
happy, joy, joy.
Really happy,
Oh
happy,
my
joy.
God.
Happy,
Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy,
joy,
joy.
joy. Happy, happy, joy,
Happy,
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 happy, joy. Da 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 da.
I miss that show.
Okay, kids.
Okay.
It's time to sing the Happy, Happy, Joy, Joy song.
You idiot!
You idiot! Happy, happy, happy.
Where are we going? We really lost it, man. We lost it today. Jack.
Happy, happy. Hey, that's our youth. Let's just be real. That is our youth. We grew up listening to that show.
Oh, Red!
He's wearing that his helmet over his head. He's got that evil like.
I was like,
Hey, we can talk about that or SpongeBob.
I turned my camera off because you said that.
okay.
Ren and Stimpy, SpongeBob's got nothing on Ren and Stimpy. Don't even go there.
I love Ren and Stimpy. I do.
Nothing on Ren and
SpongeBob
Stimpy.
has nothing on Beavis and Butthead. Come on, man.
That too. SpongeBob's got nothing on Rocco's Modern Life.
Okay. I can
Don't
love
ever hate on
and now
Rocco's
everyone's
Modern.
ranting.
Don't ever hate Rocco's Modern Life. That was the
I
greatest
know.
cartoon.
I love that
I
show.
love that show.
What the hell? Did you know
Yeah.
what his job was?
Kind of a lot of comics.
No,
Oh,
it was a sex phone operator.
Oh,
no, it
yeah,
reminds
yeah.
me.
I was
very
baby,
kid. I was very kid at that point. I was very kid at that point. I
I
was
missed
born in
that show. I
1998,
need to go back on
and my
YouTube and
parents
watch
got
like
me
a
like
clip.
cable TV. My parents got it on cable TV, and I was watching every episode of Rocco, like
What up,
Rugrats,
Greg?
Dog. There is Randy and Stimpy, and I
I need to
Dog
watch
was
that
great,
too.
so I was living through that era that every child show that I was watching, it keeps on me like a nostalgic. And when I was like 7 years old, that was the first time that I was watching the first season of SpongeBob. But those kid shows that grew me up since like was like 90, that was like part of nostalgia that I got it. So, and there was sort of like that samples that I was watching doing this. It's like, Ren, but I'm too hungry. So I'm just doing like a little voiceover
Shut up!
like this.
You idiot!
No, you did it! No, you idiot! Stop
That's
doing
actually a
it!
really good impression. That's actually a really good impression of Ren. Or he's sitting in the bathtub floating above on the water, and he's just floating around like a maniac with a bar of soap in
Oh,
his
I
hands.
remember that.
And he's like
yeah.
saying, "My beloved ice cream bar."
Oh,
No, you can't have it. It's
no,
mine.
you can have it.
You stay away from it. It's my ice cream bar.
Then I just taste the fun. Have it say my ice cream
That's another good
sandwich.
one. It's my ice cream sandwich, or the old man.
Oh,
It's like the old man that was talking, like and all his eyes and nose would pop off. His ear was like drooling down his head. Coach, I think you remember that too. Like the old man, I forget what his name is, but Red, he was like talking to Ren and Stimpy. It's like his body parts kept falling off while he was talking to him.
Oh,
Happened.
got it.
It's funny. He's just sitting there talking, and his ear is like drooling down his side.
Yes.
That was a disturbing show if you were a kid of the 90s, but it was funny as hell.
That was
Darkwing
really
Duck's another one. Yep.
funny.
Anyone ever have a WWE ice cream bar? Yep, I did.
I have.
I did.
Which one did you have, Earl? Mitch, which one did you have too?
I think I had the one with the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh.
I think I had one with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
United eliminated Barcelona from the Europa.
They were good, Coach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They brought him back for a short amount of time in the 2010s when CM Punk was one in the back. Then they got rid of him again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, you can? I didn't even know that. You can still get those ice cream bars? I got to get one of those old WWF wrestling ice cream bars.
Oh my.
Oh, really?
You'd have to search for it.
Let me see. I'll tell you 1 second. WWF.
Oh my
Those
God.
ice cream bars were good as hell.
Oh
Good as hell.
my God.
They were creamy. They were creamy. Yeah.
Pause. Not just kidding.
Okay.
I'm glad you said that.
They were creamy.
Ice
Oh, give that to
creamy.
football.
You guys
Viewer
crack me up.
discretion is advised.
No, it says the WWF Superstar Ice Cream Bars were discontinued in 2008.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Wait, hold on a sec.
Didn't they bring him back though?
Wait, hold
I
on
mean,
one sec.
I
Jeff,
just did a Google search. That's all I did.
Oh, okay.
Jeff, did you say viewer discretion is advised?
What are you doing?
Did you say it?
Yeah, I did.
This video contains gratuitous use of profanity and uncomfortable pauses to compensate for lack of professionalism and original thought. Viewer discretion advised.
Wait, what the hell was that thing that flashed at the end? You guys saw that, right? What was that? Is that flowers or something?
It's unicorns.
Mm.
I found that on YouTube. I downloaded it.
Oh my god.
AK wanted it. AK wanted it, not me.
Mitch,
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
do I have to get Philly halftime on here to you know what? Call you the you know what?
Just call me it. I don't give a damn.
No, I'm not saying it. No. I'm
Why?
not saying it. Because that's Philly halftime's gimmick.
That's not his gimmick. What the hell?
Apparently, Mitch was being a negative Nancy last night during the game. And that's apparently
Okay,
his new
so-
nickname thanks to Philly halftime.
Because the Sixers were playing so bad in the first, I thought they lost. And they came back after winning.
Thank you, No Mets.
After being down 17
You
points.
can still
to
get
Memphis
them.
Grizzlies.
Yeah, it was actually kind of funny. I don't know why maybe it was like immature humor. I was just laughing all the time. He kept saying negative Nancy. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
but you know what he said, though? He said 1-0-10. He said one.
Oh, I know. I picked that up too. He said 1-0-10.
So he's halftime. Philly halftime. 1-0. 1-0-10.
Hey, he's like the new 00. He's like the new 007. 00 halftime.
By the way, Jeffrey, I want to thank you last night for participating on the wrestling experience. Thank you again for popping
Wait,
into
were you on his show? Or
He
No, I
was in
wasn't
the
on
chat.
show. I was in the
He
chat.
was
I'm
in
going to be on the
chat.
show next week though.
oh, next week
Yes.
you are? You're not going to
Yeah.
join Mac and I? Oh, okay.
I could join Mac and you guys too.
Yeah, that is true.
I can pop on if I want. What's up, Coach?
No, I'm searching, bro. I'm searching
Oh,
for the ice cream bars.
You
it says
still
Safeway. I don't know what Safeway is.
Safeway it's a grocery store. It's like an Acme.
Oh, okay. He
No,
says
is
that
it?
it's the ice cream sandwiches, not the bars. So it's not like the
oh,
ones
okay.
with the stick, the old school ones that like myself, Earl, Coach would remember, like all the way back in the day. Mitch as well. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
Good
remember them as
Humor.
well.
You
The
know,
old
it's
school
like
ones, Raph.
yeah, Good Humor used to do that.
Yeah,
The sandwiches. Yeah.
so good.
Totally. It's like,
Made by Good Humor. Yeah, no mess, no nest, no chest just said that. Good Humor. And ice cream bars sounds so good right now. I got to buy those old school ice cream sandwiches. You can never go wrong with an ice cream sandwich after a
No,
good
you
meal.
can't. No, you can't.
Simple, but absolutely fantastic. The old
And
school,
decadent.
exactly. Decadent,
Mm.
delicious, and deserving. I can't think of
Right.
another word that begins with D.
Right.
Uh,
Remind everyone tonight is SmackDown. Tonight
Yeah,
is SmackDown. Ugh.
Rob and I and Tyler will be live for that. Jeff, you can hop on.
yeah, I might hop on, or I might just I might just watch it on the television. We'll see.
And at 5 o'clock is the fantasy baseball draft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who in the hell to take.
Coach, are you doing March Madness at all?
am I following it? Sure. Is I live streaming?
Are you
I
doing the
don't
bracket?
know. I don't do brackets to gamble per se. I
I
just do
don't
it
either.
on my own.
I
I just
don't
do it on
either.
my own. I just, I might find one online, or I might do like the ESPN one. Like I used to love when Mike Golick and Mike Greenberg used to do it, and I used to join theirs.
Yeah,
So I do stuff like that. I
I
might do.
won last year. I
Oh,
had it
cool.
right. It was I forgot who won. Was it Duke?
I
No,
don't even.
last year
Was it
was
It was Kansas. I think the
Kansas
kid was
last
Kansas.
year.
It
Oh,
was
Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah, I knew I had it right.
One of those like 2 or 3 schools that won it. Kansas, Kentucky,
Duke.
Duke, North,
Yeah, but
North
Duke is like
Carolina.
with Duke now. It's just like it's so different without Mike Krzyzewski. Good.
Oh, you mean
I don't.
Krzyzewski? No way.
I don't like.
I remember
Duke.
the Ninja Turtle. I remember the Ninja Turtle ice cream bars.
I don't like Duke. I hate Christian Leitner. I hate all those guys.
Well, you have
Mm.
a reason to hate them.
Yes.
You guys ever remember the ice cream thing known as a screwball?
Hell
Wait,
yeah.
whoa, what?
Screwball where you have the
Screwball,
little
yeah.
gumdrop.
Oh,
You have the little
okay. I
gumdrops
thought you
and
said
pop
something
it,
else.
yeah.
I'm like, whoa, what?
You remember that, right, Earl? The screwball ice cream?
I think so.
It's like that. It's like in a cylinder, like a cone-shaped ice cream. It's like pink ice cream, and at the bottom is a gumball.
Gumball, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you get it at like they sell it at the trucks, the ice cream trucks that come by.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
It
Nothing
was
better
also
than good ice cream. Than
Yep.
good ice cream trucks.
They still
Can't
got
ever
them.
beat that. Yeah, they're still roaming around all over the place. I mean, I don't know if it's by Brooklyn as much, like in New York, but there's not really a lot going on in New Jersey. But
Yeah, they have in the summertime the Good Humor trucks come out here in Brooklyn and the 5 boroughs, and they do park in various places where people want to hang out, like in the park or something
thing.
like that.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Maybe they'll one day come out with an ice cream bar that says the wrestling experience with Earl Cole. And other ice cream bars that come out and say, I agree with the assessments. And beef stew.
And he's beating the stew.
Yeah, he's beating the stew out of them.
Oh my
And maybe
god.
one of them will come out for coach and it'll be like, say, yeah!
Former WWE and ECW wrestler Steve Richards is currently dealing with health issues and he's in the hospital.
Steven Richards, yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
That
He's been
that
dealing
is.
with a lot of critical issues lately. I remember him with the right to censor.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And
He's,
superstar Billy Graham is not doing good either.
no, he's been dealing with a lot of health issues over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
don't know if
Wait,
he's gotten better or not, but yeah.
Hey, Jeff, I found something on Twitter that you might like. Hold on. It's a little
What's that?
build a lineup with $15. Have you ever done one of these?
No,
Oh yeah, I've
These are
done those before.
no, I've never
These are-
actually done that before.
I love doing these. Like the different combinations you could come out with and shit. So like $15. Like, for me,
Wait a
honestly.
minute. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see something. All right, let me.
Okay, reveal the lineup with $15.
Do you want Barry Sanders? Joe Flacco, $1.
Jalen Sproles on the Eagles $1.
Roddy White.
Doug
Todd
Baldwin.
Heath.
Oh, he is more than $1.
Chad Ochocinco is only $2, but Steve Smith is $3. Wow.
Smith was better than Ocho Cinco.
Oh,
I thought they were about even.
I think they were even.
I think Smith had the longer career. That's why.
All right. So for me, it depends on who you want to build your team around. Like if you want to go for the start at quarterback right away, or if you want to go for like one of those playmakers, and then
8.
Yeah.
I got mine.
What is it?
Hold on, just want to make sure the math is right.
Oh, by the way, Earl, another WWE executive was fired today.
Another one.
Yep. I just saw it on Wrestling News, and apparently the WWE could have the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega in their company in the next couple of months.
Oh, oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh
I'll
boy.
send you the articles in the private chat, Earl, for you to read.
Oh, it's
He was terminated for an HR violation.
So
There you go. Just put it in the private section for you, Earl.
all right. Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate that.
And I'll put the other one too. The
how
one
is
with Kenny
Heath
Omega.
Miller $2?
There you go, Earl, for you to read.
Thank you very much.
Toddy's $1. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You said Heath Miller. Heath Miller.
Heath Miller is $2.
Yeah, they were two different types of wide receivers. That's
Yo,
true.
this is hard because when you get to the receivers, because yeah, you're right about the what is it? 6,
Doug Baldwin was really good too.
9 and 4 is 13. I could do it, but man,
I would take off.
Hold on,
Oh,
hold on.
it's tough.
All right. 8. Hold on.
I would take off Doug Baldwin. And I would put Reggie Wayne on there.
3.
Reggie Wayne would be worth more than that, more than $1.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne will be like where Steve Smith is
I would even think about maybe putting him at 4.
instead of Fitzgerald. Oh,
No, if Reggie Wayne was that good.
he was good.
yeah, he was good.
Andre Johnson, I think, would be floating around at 4 too.
So
And
The
Bolden was
easiest thing to do, to be honest with you, is just take the $3 column all the way down.
right, I was thinking that earlier, but that's just like
It's but then when I look at Randy Moss and it's like and Barry Sand, I'm just like Barry Sanders, damn. Oh my gosh. Barry Sanders. But Barry Sanders was in a running era, so it's kind of there. Thurman Thomas could run and catch the ball, so he was like on that borderline. So it's like Kurt Warner, can pass the rock. So Steve McNair is another one who was always underrated.
I love Steve McNair as a quarterback.
So
Love
it's
Steve
it's
McNair.
it's so you look at it like, do you want Randy Moss? Do you want Jerry Rice? Because that's going to cost you somewhere on the back end.
This is why I love these because it makes you think.
Honestly, I would take the wide receivers that are $1 or $2 because they were really good. Even like when
Yeah,
they're not like top 5,
It's
even
a
though
good
they're not
one.
like Hall of Famers, they're still really good. Roddy White was really good in there in that stretch of his
Saying
career.
I'm not.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're not
Same
saying.
thing
I'm
with
not
Doug
saying.
We're not
Baldwin.
saying they're not bad.
No, I know, but like I would go if I really wanted Barry Sanders and like say an Aaron Rodgers. I would spend $9 and I would go for like the wide receivers as like $1 or $2 because
So
they'd
let's
still be
see.
great.
If you go for Rodgers, that's 4. Sanders, that's 5, so that's
That's
9.
$9.
And then you go Roddy White, that's 11. Doug Baldwin, that's 12. Then you could
No,
do
no.
Greg
Roddy
Olson
White
for
is 10.
13.
Roddy White would be 10, yeah.
Yeah, oh, you're doing White and Baldwin. That's $11 to the two of them. Yeah,
Yep.
but now that leaves you $4. So are you taking Jason Witten as your
Or-
tight end?
Yeah, I could. Witten was good too.
I would never pick a Cowboy. That's just me.
Look, bro.
So in my opinion,
I
would
get it.
choose okay.
I'm kidding. He was a great player. I'm kidding.
no.
Pain
what
in
you saying,
the
Raph?
ass. Pain in the ass. Go ahead, Raph.
Okay, so I'm gonna put because I'm gonna line up with $50. So I would put Kurt Warner at $3. So I would put I don't know what's really hard. So I would put Barry Sanders. That's on the $8.
Okay.
I would put Jaquan Baldwin for $2, and the it's called 10. And then I would choose.
Oh, Doug Baldwin is $1.
Yeah.
No, he said Bold. Are you Baldwin or Bolden? Anquan Bolden.
Jaquan Baldwin, yes.
Oh, Anquan Bolden. Okay, my
Yeah.
bad.
Yep. So I got Kurt Warner at $3, Barry Sanders at
$10.
5, which makes 8. Then Jaquan Barkley makes 10. Also, I just had Stephen Smith at 3, and then Heath Miller. So that completes on $15.
That's not bad either.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
Heath Miller was good too. That's good. That's a good job, Raph.
Mhm.
That's a good job.
The whole thing is because I look at Rice and Moss, and it's just like, damn. But if I want them, I gotta sell cheap, and it starts with the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
I could do McNair. I do not want Flacco. There's
Yeah,
no way I want
Flacco's
Flacco.
out of it for me.
But coach,
Flacco's-
this is what I go with the wide receivers. Is Andre Johnson and Steve Smith that much of a downgrade from Randy Moss and Jerry Rice? Like, is that severe of a downgrade?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't want to say downgrade, but they're a step lower. Yes. Rice and Moss in their primes, yo, bro, seriously. Jerry Rice, he was just that. He was it.
No, he was.
He was it. He would catch it. I mean, he could run away from receivers. He was physical. He could still even block for you.
11.
Randy Moss was just an athletic freak. I mean, he could go up over the top. His top end speed.
All right, I got mine.
Okay.
Steve McNair. Adrian Peterson,
Okay.
Jerry Rice. So, Jerry Rice, that's 11.
Mhm.
And then Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson, whatever you want to call him.
Mhm.
And then Heath Miller.
2, 4, 6. You said Adrian Peterson is 10. That's 15. Yeah, it's 15. There you go.
Got mine.
Darknet says he'd take Warner, Moss, Rice, Sproles, and Heath.
That's
He's
not
got
bad.
3 with Warner.
You got Moss and Rice. That is creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can easily do that. Like, look, McNair, Rice, so that's 7. And then Moss again,
Yep.
it's 12.
That's 12. No, I get you.
And then you can throw in like another wide receiver if you wanted. Oh wait, I didn't even put a
No.
running back here.
No,
So
you got
then you have
Yes,
to put
he
in
was.
Frank Gore and Heath Miller
Yeah.
for that.
yeah.
Who's the third one on the list?
Where?
Oh, Thurman Thomas on the running backs. Thurman Thomas.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's why to me Thomas is like he's that because he not only could he run the rock, but he could catch it.
Yeah.
So it's like out of all of these guys, he's the best receiver out of the backfield because I also look at today's game. So it's like that's why I said with Barry Sanders, Barry was pretty much the running. I mean, I'm not saying he couldn't catch, but back in the day, it was all about running. So if you're building your offense about the run around the running back, then it's about Barry Sanders. But if you're trying to be balanced, I got to go Thurman Thomas as a running back because of the pass and the run.
Yeah.
And that's
You know
why
what?
it's like
I'm going this. I'm going to do it because I love this guy. And when I watched him play, I'm taking Steve McNair.
That's what I did.
I am taking Steve McNair as my quarterback because I
That's
think
what I
Steve
did.
McNair was, like you just said, Coach, and why you picked him, Mitch, I think he was horrendously, criminally underrated. He was a much better quarterback than he gets the respect he deserves. He was really, really good in his prime.
R.I.P. to Steve McNair. So what's your team looking like then?
So I'm taking McNair as my quarterback. Coach warmed me up. I'm taking Thurman Thomas. That's 5.
That's 5, yes.
I'm taking Larry Fitzgerald because to me, when he was in his prime, you could argue he was close to the level of Randy Moss. Larry Fitzgerald was a beast of a wide receiver. Beast. And he could do something that Randy Moss couldn't do. Block. He could
that's
block
9.
like nobody could.
So that's
I'm
9.
gonna take I got him. I'm taking Marvin Harrison too. Because Marvin Harrison was absolutely phenomenal too. I'm taking the 4 wide receivers.
So that's 13.
And then I'm going to take Heath Miller. That's my tight end. That's
So
15.
no 5s. Okay.
No, I think the quarterbacks are not. I think that McNair and Warner are not that monster of a downgrade from Tom Brady.
No, I was talking about the wide receivers.
No, I don't think Marvin Harrison and Larry Fitzgerald are a major downgrade from Jerry Rice and Randy Moss. Are they better? No. But do I think that they're that much worse? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Go watch their careers too. Marvin Harrison was one of the most terrific wide receivers in terms of his ability to create separation in the open field and be able to beat defenders on the outside. And do not forget how good Larry Fitzgerald was. This dude was a physical monster at 6'3". Just like how good Jerry Rice was, Fitzgerald had everything as a wide receiver. Everything he wanted.
He was great at getting 2 feet down by the sideline.
Exactly.
He really was great at that sideline catching.
Yeah.
So
I could argue he's my favorite all-time wide receiver I've ever seen play. Larry Fitzgerald was that good as a player. And same thing with Marvin Harrison. And then obviously I think Keith Miller was very underrated as a tight end for the Pittsburgh
That's
Steelers.
why I had Keith Miller too. So
yeah,
Coach,
during the 2000s.
who's your 5? What's your starting 5? Or your lineup with the 15?
yeah, I'm with McNair and Thurman Thomas.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
have to take right now. I'm looking at Andre Thomas. So
Andre
that's
Johnson?
8. I mean Andre Johnson. Sorry.
Yeah, he was great
That's
too.
8.
Are you gonna go with Moss?
I'm looking at Jason Witten. That's giving me 12, and I'll stay with Steve Smith.
Okay. Who'd you
I
tight
like
end?
it. He went with
I went
Oh,
with
okay.
Witten.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear it.
No, because let me just double check. 4, 7, 10, 13, 15. Yep.
Yeah, he did. Fitzgerald only got 1 shot at a Super Bowl, but he was loyal to Arizona. So I appreciate that. And he was the definition of the anti-diva wide receiver. Anti-diva wide receiver was Larry Fitzgerald. It's another thing.
You know what? I'm dropping Witten. I'm going Greg Olsen, and I'm going Larry Fitzgerald.
People forget how good Fitz was. They do. They forget how good Fitz was in his prime.
And Greg Olsen wasn't no slouch either, too.
No.
So I
No,
have
he
to
wasn't.
respect that.
Hell, I was even thinking about taking Anquan Bolden. Remember how good Anquan Bolden was at the beginning of his career? The dude was at one point set the record for the most receptions and yardage for a rookie in the NFL ever in the NFL. Him and Fitzgerald with that combination at wide receiver, and then you threw in a guy like Steve Breston. How good those three were! My God, no wonder the Arizona team was so tough to stop.
Wow.
And their running back wasn't bad too. I forget his name though, but he was not bad as well. I mean, but yeah, Fitzgerald was one of the best. I would say Fitzgerald is top 3 all time in wide receivers. I would go that far and say he's top 3. You could for me, it's Jerry Rice. I would put Fitzgerald, and you could flip flop between Randy Moss or Terrell Owens. One of those two. I think Fitzgerald is absolutely a top 3 wide receiver of all time. That's just how I feel. I think he's that good of a receiver and that complete of a wide receiver, because it's not just about what he did in terms of catching the ball, touchdowns, and everything. He was an all-around terrific receiver, all around.
Mm-hmm.
For years, he was great. That's why I have to throw him up there as a top 3.
Mitch, send me this into my Twitter, please.
Okay, I'll do it right now.
I like this. This is fun. I think the quarterback one is not that big of a drop-off. I know Brady and Rodgers are great, but I'm surprised Calvin Johnson wasn't there too.
Darknet just said it too. But he said Larry not better than Calvin.
I disagree.
Wait a minute. Calvin Johnson was just as equally as good as all those receivers that we're talking about. The one thing that he got over all of them is he has that size, because he was 6'5", 230.
Yeah, he was He was pretty much like a tight end playing a wide receiver.
All right, there you go, Coach. It's in your Twitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this on my Twitter page.
I'd still take Fitz over Calvin because Fitz did it for a longer period of time than Calvin did.
Hey, if you go on Google, there's a whole spreadsheet of these.
Yeah.
If you go on Google and just go $15 budget NFL.
Okay.
I think honestly the wide receiver position is the toughest one out of all of them.
Oh yeah. Here, you want me to look up another one?
The toughest. I think it's the toughest one out of all of them. Gregor says hi, Raph.
Hello, John. Hello.
That's tough, man. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I got a lot of them right now. You
haven't include Rod Smith, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce. You didn't include Jimmy Smith.
I might actually make a video on this.
Keenan McCardell. Like, you're talking about some other great receivers during that time period. I'm not even talking about guys from like the Art Monk, another one.
Mm-hmm. Art Monk.
All from the
Lynn Swan, John Stallworth.
John Stallworth. Yep.
They played in a different era. It's a different era, so I get it. I mean, you got Branch with the Raiders. What's his name?
Tim Brown.
Oh yeah, Tim Brown. The other, no, he was the Sticker King, so I can't put him on there, even though he was
Herman Moore. That was another one. Herman Moore was great in his day.
Yeah, got short by the concussions. Yeah.
Chris Carter. How can we forget about Chris Carter of all people?
Oh, damn, yeah.
Forgot about Chris Carter, how good he was.
Wow.
There's a lot of great I'd say the sweet spot of phenomenal receivers was in the 80s to the 2000s. That was like that sweet spot of like phenomenal wide receivers. We got some good ones now, but that was Hall of Fame riddled with wide receivers.
Damn,
even though Amani Toomer wasn't that bad.
Well, I found another one if you guys want to do it.
Go for it.
All right, give me a sec. I do this all the time.
Sometimes they pop up and I see it and I'll do them. I'll play a little bit.
Wait,
but I really don't.
The same one? No, nope.
I've done a lot of NBA ones.
Oh, the NBA ones are more fun for me, but this is a football show.
See, the running back just got tougher. Just looking at the quarterback even got tougher too.
Oh shit!
This is tougher. The quarterback and running back alone is tough.
Shit.
and wide receiver. This is tough.
And tight end.
Damn, you got Witten down at the dollars now.
I'd probably put him at 5 because I think the other 4 are better than him.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Here we go.
The quarterback one is
Now,
tough.
see, you got Calvin Johnson in here.
Yeah, and he got Julio Jones too,
D.
and
Hops.
Antonio Brown.
And you got T.O. in here.
Yeah, you got T.O.
Chris
as well.
Carter, Don
Carl,
Hudson.
they got
See,
Johnson.
a lot of guys, and the younger
You
guys, are
want me
really
to
not going to understand.
wait, Jeff? Is it is the size of it good?
Can you put in a little bit bigger, not too much? A little smaller. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect.
There
Thank
we
you.
go. Yep.
Oh, this one's tougher. This one is
Come on,
tougher.
guys. Because right now, the running back is
Yeah.
killing me. Because you got the 3 greatest running backs of all time in my eyes. Sorry.
Now,
Emmitt
Coach,
Smith.
I always wanted to ask you this: if Ernie Davis did not have cancer, if he did not pass away, would he be on this list?
He had the potential to, yes.
Okay.
It's hard for me. It's hard for me to because it's hard for me to put him in there because I really don't know. I mean, like right now, I'm debating Walter Payton, Sweetness, Jim Brown,
Yeah.
Barry Sanders, and then and I have to even respect the quarterbacks. It's like
Steve
You know
Largent was
what?
great too.
oh
You
my
know what I'm doing?
gosh.
I'm going 3 down. I'm doing all 3. Give me Manning, Peyton, Owens, Jones, Gates.
Yes,
I mean, I can't argue with
Antonio
that.
Gates was great too. I mean, Antonio Gates was great.
Just
in
give
his
me the
prime.
3s down. That's all I need. I'm done.
Oh god, this is tough.
But I'm going to come up with another one. I want to make it difficult.
I mean, Joe Montana. How could I not want to pick Joe Montana?
That's
The
what
most
I'm
winning
saying.
quarterback in the NFL history.
Look,
And then-
Jim Brown. No disrespect, Jim Brown could dominate in this era,
And he was a fullback too.
They
Yes.
exactly. They considered him a fullback,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a different era. But the point is, his game transition. I mean, he's
Mhm.
legitimate 6'2", 230, 235 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
great speed, very athletic. I mean, it's hard. And the thing about Jim Brown, same with Barry Sanders. Jim Brown cut his career short. He could have easily played another 5-6 years and still put up those numbers.
Okay, so
All right, I got another one. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Walter Payton, Julio Jones, Jason Witten.
That's not bad.
I do these all the time.
Look, I'm even sitting here saying Dan Marino at $1. Dan Marino with that quick release,
Yeah.
accuracy.
And Breeze too. He's not a $2 quarterback. Breeze as well is better than a
But
$2
based off
quarterback.
of this, I get it. But based off of this, it's like I could easily take Dan Marino and build up my whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Okay. I might have got another one.
I might go with 2 or
No,
3. Or
You
3 or
gotta
4
send
or
me.
5.
You gotta send me this one too, bro.
I got you.
I might take 4 or 5 when it comes to quarterback. 'Cause,
I love
mean,
doing these
I
because it makes
take
you
shit.
think.
There is really no wrong way. Even Antonio Brown, when he was with the Steelers, he was a beast.
Oh, he
Come on,
was
man.
all-time great.
It's like, yo, I mean, there really isn't.
The dude
now,
was putting up 1,500
Now,
yards
look,
every
look.
season and 100+ catches.
Right.
Antonio
Most
Brown.
most people will not pick Don Hudson, but Hudson, during his time, was an elite wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that most don't know him, and it's a different era because of the way the passing game was back then. So it's
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I think I got another one. I think.
I'm not doing this one. I can't.
Dan Marino,
Okay.
Barry Sanders, that's 6.
Oh yes.
T.O., that's 9. Larry Fitzgerald, that's 14. And then Jason Witten again.
No. Wait a minute. That's 9.
Okay,
and
so-
not gonna get 14 and Witten. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yep.
Okay, so I got
I do these all the
because
time.
I got 15 complete. So I
Go for
got
it.
Joe Montana, So I got
Okay.
Jerry Rice, I got Hopkins, Gates,
Ooh.
and Carter.
Carter.
Chris
Oh,
Carter.
ooh, I like that. Okay. You don't have to use. You don't have to use every position. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
well, running back is like a definite, but you can use like 3 of the wide receivers and wide receiver 2. Like, let's say for example, I got Peyton Manning,
No,
right? That's 3. Then you
Yeah.
go. I'm gonna go Walter Payton again because why not? So that's 6.
Yeah, it's
And then I'm gonna go Fitzgerald.
I don't remember if he did.
That's 11.
that's 11.
And then, so I'll go Jerry Jones. No,
You say
Yeah,
Jerry
Jerry-
Jones.
I was about to say Jerry Jones.
I was a
touching
great linebacker back in my day.
Julio Jones and then Jason Wynn
Okay.
again.
Uh,
You don't have to go like 1-1-1-1-1. You can go like Payne Manning, Jerry Rice, Barry Sanders. You can mix it up.
I'll try mine out. I'm going Dan Marino because Dan Marino is not a $1 quarterback. I get it.
It's just a list.
I know,
Yeah,
but
we get it.
I'm going Marino. I'm taking Sweetness because, I mean, Sweetness was just, I mean, there's nothing to talk about how good
he could even pass
Walter
the damn
Payton
rock.
was.
He could even
Yeah.
pass the damn rock. So
Yeah,
yeah.
well, Walter Payton was just like a freak athlete. I have to take Sweetness. As much as I like Jim Brown and I mean Barry Sanders, I mean, come on. But I'm taking Marino, and then I'm taking Payton. That's 4. I'm
Okay.
gonna take Randy Moss. That's 9.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not.
gonna take Calvin Johnson, 14, or Calvin Johnson, 13.
No, hold on a minute. That's 13. That's 13.
Yeah, he's good. Then he's taking
13,
Sharp.
and I'm gonna
he's
take
good.
Shannon. I'm gonna take Shannon Sharp as my tight end because Shannon Sharp was a beast with the
Okay,
Ravens and the
okay.
Broncos.
Char Jones.
There
I
you
got
go.
you. I got you one.
Oh,
Wait, Jeff Hardy spared jail? Oh my God.
wait.
I got you. Here we go. I got
Go for it.
Marino. I got Marino, Brown, Chris
Okay.
Carter, D Hop, Tony Gonzalez.
That's pretty good too.
That's a good one. All right, Coach, let
Now-
me send this to you before I forget.
Wait, is Gonzalez a bigger? Is he that much better than
Just
all
give
those
me a
other
sec. I'll
guys?
bring him back
Would you
up
say he's
after I
that
do
much
it.
better than like Gronk? And
Yes, he's better than
Gates?
Gronk.
He's better than Gronk by far, yes.
Are you saying by far? I don't know by far.
No, I'm not gonna say by far, but based on the way things are, yes, Gronk may be a little bit better in the blocking game, but in the receiving game, route running, athleticism, deep speed, yeah, Gonzalez and
All right,
Gonzalez.
there
Don't
you go,
forget,
Coach. I
Gonzalez
sent it to
was
you.
thanks. Don't
No
forget,
problem.
Gonzalez was also a former basketball player in college, so he had
Yeah.
the hops.
That's why I'm glad you're saying that because I would put Gates too because Gates also had that
Gates.
same type of athleticism that Tony Gonzalez had. He was a former basketball player as well. I would put Gates up there as my number 2 because
There we
Gates
go.
was scary good in his prime, and he had that same type of route running, athleticism, his ability to get open in the middle, that basketball background. People forget how good Antonio Gates was for the Chargers.
You know what? You guys are not. I got you. I got you guys. Joe Montana,
Okay,
LaDainian Tomlinson,
okay.
Jerry Rice, Julio Jones, Sharp.
Is that 14 or 15?
Hold on, let me do it again. Montana's 4, Tomlinson's 5, Jerry Rice is 10, Julio Jones is 13, Shannon Sharp is 15.
Okay, you're right. So that is not bad. You got it. I didn't even. That's a good.
I just
that's
did
not a bad
5 in a
team.
matter of minutes.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong no matter what team you pick on here. They're all going to be great. There's
It's
really
just
no wrong
Tomlinson.
answer.
Like,
yeah,
no one has picked Tomlinson. I'm like,
Tomlinson was great too. He was
I
even
love
good with the
Tomlinson.
Jets. He was good with the Jets too.
yes. Not a lot of people talk about that. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I got another one. Drew Brees, 2.
Okay.
Jim Brown, 6. Larry Fitzgerald, 5. So that's 11. Then I got Chris Carter, Antonio Gates.
That works too.
I'm
There's really no wrong answer with this whole entire drill. There really is no wrong answer with this entire drill at all. I mean, I would honestly, if he was healthy for his entire career, I honestly believe Gale Sayers should be up here too.
Yes.
Gale Sayers, if he remained healthy throughout his entire career, I don't know how Coach feels about it, but if Gale Sayers stayed healthy, I think he would have been a top 5 all-time running back. His injuries is what stopped him because that guy was a rare breed of talent.
Here, I got another one, but he's a little bit of a twist.
Another bear too, by the way.
Here's another one, but this one's more of a twist.
Okay.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. God, I hate presenting screens. It's such a bitch. Look at this. Build your best squad. So it's a little bit of a twist there.
1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 1.
It's the same positions.
Oh, 1 running back and
look,
1.
You actually got to figure it out. So if you look at, there's one. It's different. There's 4 slots instead of 5.
And the players are all mixed up too.
Yep.
So it makes you have to think on this one.
No, the running backs. Quarterbacks are vertical in the first column. Running backs are in the second. Wide receivers are in the third. Tight ends are in the fourth. Or never mind. I'll take that back.
Is that Wes Welker or is that Gronk?
Where?
In between Gonzalez and Tomlinson.
Tomlinson. That's Gronk. That's Gronk.
That's Gronk. Okay, I didn't know if it was Welker.
There's Mahomes at $2. These are Barry Sanders again, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss. They're all the same players, but Brett Favre is right there. Is that who is this next to Fitzgerald in
That's
Peterson?
Marshall Faulk.
That is Faulk. I was right.
That's Marshall Faulk. Yeah, that's another one. Another great dual threat running back. People forget how good Marshall Faulk was with the Rams.
All right. So 15.
No, that greatest show on turf with the Rams, that offense was not as good without Marshall Faulk. He was the engine of that offense, besides Kurt. With him being able to go up for 2,000 yards, he opened things up for Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce and Isaiah Hakeem and Ricky Kroll to be able to get open.
Okay.
Screw it. I'll give it a try. Peyton Manning is my quarterback.
So 3.
I'm going to go with my running back. I'm going to take Marshall Faulk.
So that's $1. So that's 4.
I'm going to go with Larry Fitzgerald as my wide receiver. Well, he's a $1. Never mind. I'm going to go with Jerry Rice as my receiver.
Okay, so that's 10.
I'm going to go with.
You remember you need 2 wide receivers.
Is that Tim Brown after him? That's Tim Brown, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to take Tim Brown as my other one. So that's 12.
Okay.
And then my tight end, I'm going to take Tony Gonzalez, 15.
Randy's going to pop on in a bit.
I'll probably go for another half an hour or so because I want to get something to eat.
I had a good lunch.
Jeff, you're gonna learn. You better eat as you go. That's what I'm doing right now.
That's what I did.
No, I know. I usually always wait until after the stream, then I usually eat like crazy.
All right. I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to go out of the box. Okay. So if I go there, that's 2. If I go there, that's 7. If I go there, that's 11. I think I got it. I think. Not exactly sure, but so Brett Favre, $2. Barry Sanders, 5, so that's 7. T.O. That's 11.
That's very good.
And then you see, it got me there. It got me there. So if I go Sanders, that's 5. Montana. Wait, that's not Montana, is it? So there, that's 9. Okay, that's 9. My God. This
Not that
one,
easy, huh?
this one is tough.
Tough.
This one's harder. Like the second one, I just went through like that.
Like,
1, 2, 3, 4. I cracked out 5 in like 5 minutes.
By the way, more NFL news. The Panthers have restructured right guard Austin Corbett's contract, which
There you
is going
go.
to save them about $5.9 million to reduce his cap hit. So
There
they
we go.
restructured one of the offensive linemen's
Did
contracts.
you hear about the Bulls maybe getting that old Utah Jazz's coach, Gwen Snyder?
The Bulls
Yeah.
or the Hawks?
Hawks,
Hawks.
sorry, Hawks.
Yeah, because the Bulls still got Billy Donovan as their coach.
Yeah, my bad.
Maybe we could do something like this for tomorrow with the basketball.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll get a whole bunch of them. I'll get a whole bunch.
This was tough. This was honestly really, really tough to do.
Okay. I'm going. If I go, no, that's still the same thing. There's no quarterbacks for $1. That's the thing. If there was a quarterback for $1, I could possibly do it.
Let me try it. I'll go Witten,
Hey, what's up, Juice?
Tomlinson, Montana, Calvin Johnson, and Tim Rice. Wait a minute, 4.
Tim
Hey.
Brown or Jerry Rice?
No, Montana, Calvin Johnson, that's 8. Tim Brown is 10.
Okay.
LaDainian Tomlinson is 13. Oh, Witten is only $1.
Oh,
Well, then
It's a
I have to go
$2
with
ball.
Gates. I have to go with Gates.
That's not really a bad choice.
all right. Montana, Falk.
Mhm.
So that's 5. Then I need 2 wide receivers. Fitzgerald. So Montana, Falk, that's 5. Fitzgerald is 6. T.O., that's 10. And then
You can go the big one at 5.
yeah, but they're I already got my 2 wide receivers. No way, I got
Oh.
1. I got no wait.
You don't have a tight end.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
hold
no
on.
$5 tight end. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Hold on. So 4.
The highest tight end is a 3.
Yeah.
You know what?
I think
So Montana is 4. Doing that right out of the gate.
Who was on one of the other ones?
I'll do Gronk at 3. So that's
They've gone
7.
with so many different ones. So
That's 7. I'm gonna do Falk. So that's another one. So that's 8. That's 8.
let's see.
And then T.O., that's 4. So that's 12. And then I need a 2 spotter.
Okay, so Tim Brown is-
Gates. I got Gates, so I'm good.
all right, Ralphie, you up, boy?
No, wait, no. Yeah, Raph, go. Yeah, Raph, you go.
Okay. So I'm gonna pick Tim Brown. That's 1 wide receiver. I'm gonna choose 1
Yeah.
tight end, which is
Hey, Spongy.
Gronkowski. So that means 20 minutes, $5.
2-5. That's 5. Yeah.
So I'm gonna choose Joe Montana.
That's
That's
9.
4, 3, 2. That's 9.
9.
Right. Okay, so there we go, right there.
So 4.
So you need a quarterback and a receiver.
You took Montana.
I took Montana.
So you need a running back and receiver. My fault.
Oh, running back and receiver. That's very important. Let's see what I got over here. I think this. Okay, so Tim Brown is 2. Gronk is 3. Okay, this sounds 5. Montana, that's 4.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you have 9 right now, Raph. You just need 2 positions to fill. So you need at least 6 more points. For the
6
last
more
2.
points. Okay. So it's that more 6 points. Okay, so who's the number 10 of the Napoli Colts?
Oh, it's Peyton Manning, 18.
Oh,
You
yeah.
take Montana?
I just chose a quarterback. Okay, so let's see.
5, 10.
Oh, the number 8 from the Rams.
Wait.
The number 8 from Kansas City.
5, 10. 10.
Gonzalez.
Wow.
I think you have a tight end, right, Raph? You already picked one?
Gonzalez. You said 8-8.
I just pick Rob.
I finally got it. got it.
So I just okay.
So I got Ray, Moss, Favre.
One running back and another wide receiver. All right. So let's see what they got over here. Okay, so the Chargers 21. The Chargers 21. Chargers 21. That's right.
Daniel Tomlinson.
Chargers number 21. Okay, hold on. LaDainian Johnson. No, I don't think it is. I just let's see. Okay, for the okay, let's see, because I didn't remember that name. Okay. The Eagles number. Who's gonna wear the Eagles Falk?
The Eagles TO.
Eagles Faulkner. Oh look, Falcon. That was that was. So the Vikings. 84. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so that would be, I'll choose Tim Brown, Gronkowski, Montana, that's 4. And then I just pick Randy Moss from the number 84 from the Minnesota Vikings. Okay.
All right, I got 9.
Right. Rap.
Uh-huh.
You said Tim Brown, Gronkowski, Montana, right?
Yes.
So that's 9.
That's wide receiver.
No, I'm saying total. No.
Oh, the team total. Okay, so there is 8.
Wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, totals 9 based on that. Then you said Moss or Rice?
I just say Randy Moss.
All right, 9 and 4 is 13.
Yeah, that's 13. Yes.
So you need a running back.
Okay, a running back.
Because you have Moss as a receiver, Montana the quarterback, Gronkowski is a tight end, and Tim Brown is a wide receiver. So you need a running back for 2 points.
Tim Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Randy Moss, and Joey Montana.
That's 4. Right. You need a running back.
Who's your running back?
And your running back has to be 2 points.
Look at the 2-point parameter and see what running back is there.
There is none.
So you're going to have to rework what you did, Rep. You're going to have to change one of your positions.
All right, so this one's mine. I got Moss, Rice, Favre, Gates, Falk.
Did you say fuck?
No, I said Falk.
Oh, I thought you came up with a player we've never heard before.
Marshall Falk.
Rice Moss is 10. Farvis 2 is 12.
Gates
Falk is 1 is 3, and Gates is 2. Yep, that's
Oh,
15.
okay, I got it. I was
I
getting
got the
out of
2 wide
some.
receivers there. That one was tough. I got that one.
It's okay,
Okay.
Rap. It gets tricky sometimes.
Okay, I'm not gonna get intricate about it. So I just choose Tim Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Joe Montana, Randy Moss, and Adrian Peterson.
Is that 15?
That's 14.
It saved me $1.
He said it saves me $1. Okay.
$1.
Yeah, it just sent me $1.
All right, you get points for creativity on
I'm
that.
I'm so done with Kamara. Somebody give us their running back.
Oh, Juice.
Oh my god.
Juice. It's okay. None of the Saints players are on this list. It's okay.
No, he's
Juice,
talking
you
about
might
Alvin
resign.
Kamara. He's talking about Alvin Kamara because of what happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Might
And
be
I'm
going to
adding
jail.
a little. And then I'm adding a little. Oh, look, no all-time Saints here.
Well, Juice, there actually. Well, the other is. Oh no, wait, Breeze isn't there. I thought Breeze was there.
No,
That was the other one.
Yeah.
that was the second one.
Well, Juice, I heard you guys are resigning some defensive end. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's apparently going to resign with the team. I could hear your joy right now through the screen.
Oh.
This was tough. This is tough. Going through these types of players, trying to pick like between who you think is the top guy.
Yep.
Juice, I feel you. I deal with pain every day.
So do I. We all
So
do.
do I.
That's why I'm so mad up and so filled up with food.
I love me some food.
Don't we all?
Delicious, yummy food.
Don't we all?
And
Oh,
if
you'd
I
be
had a
surprised.
chance, and I could get away with it, I'd fly high to the sky. Puff, puff, pass.
He fly high, so why he rolling?
No, it's no lie.
I know.
Oh, okay.
You're still going, Raph?
Yes, I just picking my choices.
Mitch loves
Okay.
his brownies.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
he
yeah,
does.
yes.
Tell me something I don't know.
The sky is not blue; it's actually purple.
Oh.
That's something you didn't know.
I
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that the Saints have 0 Super Bowls.
Oh,
Or what?
Jesus.
Here's something you don't know.
What?
Mitch is a pimp in disguise.
Yes, a Jewish pimp. I'll take it.
Oh, I know one.
He makes Don the Magic Wand look like nothing.
No, seriously, I know one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Damn.
Mhm. He got some honeys.
Good for him. And he got money. Wow.
And he don't have to beat his chicks around, so he don't beat them up. So
He knows the honeys that are gonna bring the money, and you know they aren't gonna do anything funny.
true that, brother. True that.
Oh, this one is funny. This one is funny, the one I just found.
Yo, he rocking Bill Cosby. Hey, what do you say?
Hold
All right, Mitch. What is it?
on. It took me a little bit to pull it up. Give me a sec.
Your second is up.
Yes, I know. It is the budget roster.
Today, Junior.
Yes, it's right here. It's the budget roster.
okay.
What's the-
Budget roster
what's the
spend
budget
no
roster?
more than 50.
These are all the players who stink.
Winston at 5.
These are all the players that stink.
Spend
bro,
no more
bro.
than 15.
Oh.
Cordell Patterson doesn't suck. Cordell Patterson doesn't suck.
Odell Buck.
Oh my god.
Odell Gronk stinks.
No,
got-
this is just like in the. How do I explain
They have
this? How do I
Patterson,
explain this?
Connor. They have
No more than 15.
Gronk. They got Ingram, Hurts.
But Winston's at 5.
Pause,
That's-
Juice.
Okay, pause, Juice. Okay, we're not gonna read this comment. Okay,
How you
No, no, it's fine.
we're not
How
gonna
you-
read this comment, Juice.
How you know
Okay,
he got a big
I'll
stroke?
read
How
you.
you know? How you know he
So-
got a big stroke, man?
I'm not
Whoa.
stupid. We're not gonna read.
Are you? Hey, bro, if you come out of the closet, more respect, more power to you, bro.
They got Cordell Patterson. They got Odell.
Cause I ain't calling no other man a big stroke. No, heck no.
They got Dalton.
Yeah, it was a little out there.
I'm trying to think. Like,
I'm sorry, some of these guys don't suck.
no,
They
I
don't.
mean,
Odell,
I just don't understand. Like,
Gronk,
Even Patterson is one of the best return men in the past like 5-6 years. Juju's
with
not
the
bad.
Steelers,
Yeah,
Gallup.
Gallup's good.
You saying easy, yo? You the one to put it out there, bro, not me.
no, this is the list I just
Leonard
found on
Fournette's
Twitter.
not bad either, and neither is James Conner.
Okay, so I got
James Conner is like a sneaky
Hell,
running back.
I'll even say it. Evan Ingram's not even that bad. He's not. He just wasn't a fit for the Giants, but he's actually not that bad
This
of
is
a
like
player.
out of their prime. Like, some of these players are out of their prime. That's basically what it is.
Yeah,
Evan Ingram
I,
is still
Like,
in his
Odell's out of his prime in here.
Evan- no,
Gronk's
Evan
out of
Ingram's-
his prime in here.
Juju Smith-Schuster's like 25 years old.
just gonna be-
He's
Some
still in
are,
his
some
prime.
aren't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just found this. It was like
Yeah,
bugger out
Josh
there.
Gordon
And I saw
is
Winston at 5.
Is that Josh Gordon?
I think it might be Melvin Gordon.
That's Melvin Gordon.
And he's not bad either. He's tailed off over the years, but he's still not bad.
They got-
All right. So you're 5. Wait. So I'm going to go with. So no more than 15. Okay. I'm going with Trubisky, Patterson. So that's 9. Who the hell? I don't even know who that is. MVS?
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Out.
Oh,
Hold on.
This one he was with the Packers as a deep threat.
So that's 9. 11.
okay,
Dude's got a
so-
Super Bowl. Tell MVS and Juju got Super Bowls.
Okay, so I got. And then 1. That's 11. And then 3 is gonna be 14.
Obviously, I don't think Evan Ingram sucks that much. He's a 4.
Okay, so I got Juju. I got Odell. That means 7. I got Fournette as 3, which is equal to 10. I got Dalton, and last but not least, I got Ertz.
Dalton and Ertz. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I'll
I would
take-
spend no more than
I got Patterson.
say $1 again. So
Oh, you
No,
just
you-
say, oh, it's the dollar save, Raph.
No, that was 15. You got 15 there.
Yeah.
I got 15 there, and I just spent 14. That makes sense. I mean,
No, never mind. So Patterson.
I got lost on that one.
Yeah,
okay.
me too, but I got it. Gronk, Patterson, so that's 10. Ongoing Mariota, that's 13. Juju. No, wait, I can't. Then I go Gallup and Williams. Damn.
I'll go my quarterback. I'll take Bridgewater. I'll take him as my 2. My running back. I'll take Fournette. That's 3. So 5. My wide receivers. I'll go with Odell. That's 10. Other wide receiver, I'll take Juju, 12, and my tight end, Ertz.
Okay.
What about it, Coach?
Hmm. Odell, Juju, Ingram. It's 11. Mariota.
That's not a bad pick too.
And I'm just going to take Gordon.
Melvin Gordon was good in his prime too. I heard the air fryer who's making munchies.
Now that was my aide cooking for me. Come on.
Yeah. I just threw something in the oven too.
She just made me some good fried chicken necks.
Mmm. Chicken and nuggets.
No, I said chicken necks. Not nuggets.
Oh, chicken necks. Going tore up from the flow up. I'm going to try another one. I'm going to go Mariota. I'm going to go James Conner. So that's 7.
Oh,
I'm going to go MVS and Juju.
I forgot
So,
about my. Okay.
Mariota and Connor 7, MVS 10, Juju 12, and Ertz. I'll go with Ertz again as my tight end, 15. What's up, Rob? How you doing, bro?
What's up, Phil? Philly.
Yep, we got a live stream in 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'll probably. I'm going to cut it off short soon.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I was playing. I got to do some. I want to do another one of those Giants things in a little bit too. So
What
we'll do
Giants
this like a
thing?
little bit. I've been doing like a scouting thing for the past couple of weeks. You know, just like talking about some
I
players.
really got to have my aide get me over my computer because I got to do my next set. I didn't do anything today.
I've been doing it for the past 4 days, so I figured I'll do one more today. I'm doing the wide receivers and the offensive line right now, but I plan on doing the trying to change positions as I go.
I'm doing backs today. I'm doing backs.
So I got a couple in my mind who I want to do today.
Whoa, pause there.
Oh, F the pause.
Yeah.
Coach, I don't know if you saw that kid from Ohio State, the offensive lineman. I think he might be a guy that could rise.
Which
the
one?
Offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman.
Wiley or whatever his name is. Yeah, I know you're talking about he can play center.
Weipler or something. He's a guy that's really starting to raise up the NFL draft charts because he's young too. He's versatile.
And I know the argument is that he's better than Schmidt. I'm sorry for me. No, he's not, but okay.
And he is young. He's 21 years old. Still a lot of room to grow, too. I think he's a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, he's still young.
So he's even got more room to grow into his own as a player. So that kid got me extremely intrigued when I heard about that. Even though I like Schmidt a lot.
See, White is okay. The thing that draws me about Schmidt is his nastiness.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that he has over a lot of these other interior linemen is just his straight nastiness.
I like that too. Oh, by the way, the Chiefs promoted quarterbacks coach Matt Nagy to their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So Matt Nagy is going to take over for Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator. Let's just be real; it's Andy Reid's offense.
Yeah, basically.
Yep. So he was part of the Chiefs anyway before he went to the Bears. So he's getting a second go around underneath Andy Reid as the OC.
All right.
Interesting. Ha! Okay. When the F did Melvin Gordon join the Chiefs? I'm genuinely confused. What? I said Marquez Valdez-Scantling, the wide receiver formerly of the Packers. Number 11, the deep threat. It's actually not that bad. Maybe that is possible. Everybody's going to want Bijan Robinson in this upcoming draft. A lot of teams are going to be looking at Bijan Robinson as that next big back coming out. Free out
the Cowboys, like I said.
I could see it, Coach. There's even been rumors about us potentially going after him if Saquon doesn't come back.
Right.
But yeah. You guys have anything else you want to say before we close the live stream down? Figured
I
we'll
can
give
find
everybody a
another
little
one of
break.
those things.
Maybe like real quickly, and then we'll we have tomorrow. We'll do some more tomorrow.
Yeah, basketball. I'll find basketball ones for tomorrow.
Yeah. But yeah. I say thank you very much, everybody, for coming by another episode of the Football Friday and New York Giants Talk live stream. Appreciate Mr. Rafael Chassin Montilla.
Yes.
Mr. Coach Ed Gladney, Amazing World of Sports. Mr. Mitch Kofsky, NYG22, who popped on earlier. I want to say thank you all for coming by the live stream. I hope all you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. As always, take it easy, and let's go New York Football Giants. Together blue, everyone. Have a good one.
Awesome power of nature, hot excitement of freedom. Goes after you.